momentum against them.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's kind of a reactive martial art, and it's like it's using your momentum and then using leverage and using technique. But it's not like offensive. And what he did in the movies is he made it offensive. Like if you go to like Above the Law. Above the Law is a fucking great movie.
Well, he turned it into a tool to get tons of pussy.
This is him when he's older. Okay, this is Do-Rag Seagal.
Do-Rag Seagal is the best Seagal.
Do-Rag Seagal is not the best Seagal. You want to go to black and white film Seagal. Because you got to realize, like, Above the Law, go to old Steven Seagal footage. Above the Law was in... Jamie,
hell yeah,
bro! I'm telling you, listen, the guy. You can say whatever you want about the guy now, but I am just telling you.
I love him.
Yeah, listen. Fuck all this. Go to old Steven Seagal footage because this is a lot of like, he's basically in a movie now, right? Like,
yeah,
that's like he's in a movie. Those guys aren't really resisting.
And one that he's written as well.
No. Old Steven Seagal Aikido footage. There's like legitimate footage of him in the dojo.
Just doing work.
Yeah, like when you see like his ability to throw people. There you go.
He had the big feud with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
The top one's legit. I've seen this top one. So it's a lot of the movements and stuff, like very fluid, very fluid. It's just not that effective a martial art in real practice. Like in real practice, a wrestler is going to take a Aikido guy down like 100% of the time.
Yeah, no Aikido guy's ever won one of the big competitions, really.
I mean, you could have a guy who starts out in Aikido for some strange reason and is just extraordinarily physically talented. Like if John Jones got in Aikido.
Sure.
He still would fuck people up in the UFC. There's certain people that are extraordinarily talented. They're training at the wrong place. That does happen.
Perhaps a trans Aikido fighter.
But Aikido is just not the way to go. It's a beautiful martial art. It's a beautiful thing to learn. It is a really effective tool. Like if you know Aikido and a guy has like a bat and he's coming at you, it's actually a very important thing to know. Like some of the principles involved in avoiding like these strikes, like you could apply those in a real situation. But it's just like it's just not the martial art that you would say is on its own what's really good for fighting. You wouldn't say Aikido.
I feel like the reason why even guys like him, aside from that, were so great was like that they believed it a little. You know, when you see kind of, Jason Momoa right now as an action star, he doesn't think he's that guy. You know, whereas like, kind of even Jean-Claude Van Damme, like it was getting a little wishy-washy. What was the movie? What was them,
Yes. Well, I think the audience capture like that, and especially then, you're talking about like the 80s and the 90s where your connection to the audience is like so ethereal. It's so like it's mystical. Like why do they like me?
You're not
Where
seeing
are
this
these
guy
people?
every day.
You don't have any tweets about you. You're not getting any comments on YouTube. You're just like trying to figure out if people like you. And you're just doing karate movies.
Yeah. It is very easy to be like a god back in those days. It's kind of like more how music is, where it's I always say that even if you look at kind of activist stuff.
He's doing splits on the top of like a
that's
building.
Jean-Claude's. His split move is the move.
Bro, he's doing splits on the top of a fucking giant pillar overlooking the city. I'd be scared to sit there.
90% of Jean-Claude Van Damme was his splits.
First of all, he's a beautiful man.
He's the best.
He's a beautiful man. I mean, his body is flawless. So he's over there, flawless body, doing splits.
More than splits too.
Yeah.
It's like,
look at him. He could do splits on. He could do splits on 2 chairs, where he puts one heel on each chair and he like suspends his body. That's nuts.
Oh my god,
that's really hard to do, man.
So
remember
much
that video? I think it was CGI. It had to be CGI, where they did it in between the 2 trucks.
Yeah, there's a picture of it.
That's CGI.
Both.
It has to be.
They did
CGI.
do some of it, but yeah, they didn't.
I think he really can do that with his legs still. He really can do
I don't
a
think
split.
they were moving though. Yeah,
But they're not going to do that in between trucks, and he goes under the truck, and you lose Jean-Claude Van Damme in a fucking horrific semi-accident where his body gets turned into meat.
I think he's doing. He's doing some wild stuff right now.
Is he?
Oh, on the internet. Yeah, I think. Well, he had that. He did like a web series, and then he had like some porn star girlfriend. He was posting photos of him just like in a hot tub with just like rocking out.
Damn.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. But I was kind of even saying that the same way that it used to be more mystical with the action stars back then, like you were saying, that like it kind of reminds me of why I feel like activist messages work better with musicians than like, you know, podcasters or comedians. Because it's sort of like with musicians, like the, you know, save the children, whatever you want to say.
Right,
you know,
right.
very like, we got to feed those kids. And then, but you don't have to really answer anything more than that.
Right.
And then it's kind of like with
Or you could say something in between songs.
yeah, you get
You
into
know?
one comment in.
Yeah.
But then after it becomes
By
like,
the way, fuck the Supreme Court.
yeah, 100%. Woo, 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 woo.
And Biden needs to codify Roe v. Wade.
Yeah. And if you think women should be in the kitchen, you can
Yeah.
leave this concert right now.
Right.
But if you said that here, you'd be like, well, what do you mean by that? And it's
lecturing dudes are sus. They're super sus. When dudes lecture other dudes, I'm like, damn, you're sus.
that was
Those are closet creeps a lot of the time.
that area where when things got like real wild in 2016, the dudes that became the big lecturers were because the girls, you kind of like got it a little more.
There's a few of them that I know that are like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
What are
what's
you doing? What's that about?
did you ever? Yeah, I mean, did you?
Imagine it working. Imagine you say, you know, respect women, and all of a sudden the guy reads that tweet and it's like, oh, yeah, why not? Shit, I should.
Jesus, dude.
Should respect
Oh my
women.
God.
I mean, thank God you wrote that.
Yeah.
Because I just
changed
you know,
my entire opinion of the way I think of everything at
Yeah, I just didn't
34.
even think there were people until I saw your tweet. What the fuck are you doing? Believe all women. Okay. Believe everyone. How about that? I believe all the people all the time.
Do you think
Believe
that
everybody. No one's lying.
do you think that right now, I think your average dude that was like that has sort of felt a little embarrassed. The same way that the same way that your average dude that was all in on COVID, like
Yeah.
day after. I remember when COVID happened, I was kind of filming stuff, and I had a few buddies that like messaged me being like, "Dude, this is kind of irresponsible that you're like filming or whatever." And guys that are cool, and I was kind of like, "I think you're gonna be embarrassed that you sent me this." And
Years later, yup.
yeah, they were, but I think that, you know, some dudes that were like all in on,
Yeah.
you know,
Some
yelling
people
at
have
you.
a heightened level of anxiety, and it's not even their fault. It's like where you are, maybe you're at a 1 or 2. Some people are at a fucking 6 all the time. And
Yes.
So something like COVID comes along, and it just rattles them to like a 9, whereas you stay at a 6.
Yeah.
You know, you're like where they would be normally, like, wow, the fucking world's fucked now. That would be them normally.
Yeah.
And then COVID comes along and they go, wow. Some people just thought the way we all felt about it in the beginning. Everybody in the beginning was scared. I remember those days. Everybody in the beginning was like, whoa, this is weird.
Yeah, no one was, yeah.
Right,
At the
but-
very least, you're like,
Everybody was worried because they shut the whole country down. Everybody was
course.
worried. We're hearing the stories
What's
about
going
needing
on here?
ventilators, they're running out of ventilators. We were all scared.
yeah, I was robbing people's
But
houses.
In 2023, I see people driving with masks on. I saw a guy
Come
drive with a
on.
mask on. That guy's not coming back.
driving.
Driving with a mask
The
on.
plane's full of them, and they've got the full, you know, the Bane mask, the whole deal.
Some people are not coming back. They're not coming back.
Yeah.
we broke them.
There's a couple
you know,
comics.
not we, but life.
No, society.
The
Yeah.
thing. The thing that we just went through broke them.
3 years is enough to break someone, too.
Oh, fuck. 3 years is enough to break a strong person.
Yeah. Like
a
when you were.
strong person.
Well, don't they, like, imagine you were going to jail and you go solitary confinement and they put you in solitary confinement for 3 years. Like, how many, isn't there like
Yeah.
a pretty good percentage of people that lose their mind in that
How
scenario?
do you do that to a person? Isn't it wild? I mean, I had a bit about this at one point in time where I was like, this is how much we need each other, that we'll take people that are murderers and rapists and thieves and swindlers, and the worst punishment you can give them is leaving them alone.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Like the worst punishment you can give to someone is just leave them alone.
You can't talk to anyone.
Imagine you leave them alone with no books.
Well, you know it's funny because the best reward you can give someone for about 3 hours is leave them alone. And it goes from, you know what I mean?
Isn't
For
that
certain
wild?
people, you go, the best thing, someone that's just got too much going on, you got family, whatever it is, like the best thing you could have is like, no one's bugging me for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And that slowly becomes the best thing to the worst nightmare that you can imagine.
Yeah.
Hell on earth.
Weird. We're so strange.
So that's why it
That's
did break
why all
people.
that, like, people are like, well, I'm kind of a loner. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. That's a weird one. You kind of like being alone sometimes.
Yeah.
But no one wants to be alone. And if you do, be careful, because then you're Ted Kaczynski. If you really want to be
Yeah.
alone, you probably hate people and you're trying to blow them up.
And also the people that like say that want to be alone, you're like, yeah, you want to be alone, but in front of a TV,
Right.
You're like, are you alone? It's like none of those people that are like, yeah, I just go to my basement, shut the lights off, and sit
That's
there
it, in the dark.
like a serial killer.
Contemplate my demise.
just think
I try to feel my cells reproducing poorly.
like a
Which
psycho.
which ones are going to fail me first before I perish?
Yeah, that is kind of what it is. Yeah, just sitting there thinking of you having sex, not
Lighting
even hard.
matches, burning them down to your fingertips, alone in the dark. Blisters on your fingers from holding these.
Yeah. Okay, if you say that, you go, okay, you're kind of a loner. Yeah, that's correct.
That's a real loner. We need to keep a fucking eye on you.
Yeah, that is correct. You are.
It is fucking weird how much we need each other. We need each other so bad.
Yeah, so I watched that. I watched a lot of people get broken because of that stuff, especially in Canada where it was like way crazier. You know what I mean? Like my mom, I always say my mom was like a good pulse of what just like a normal person is.
Yeah.
Because she'll like, I always say she like watches like Fox and CNN, but just thinks they're both just news. So she'll literally watch the news and be like, the news can't make up their mind because she's like, doesn't.
That's hilarious.
You know what I mean? Like
Do you talk about this in your act?
I've never said that on stage.
God,
no,
you have to,
But
dude.
it's like makes me laugh because she'll be like, they can't decide whether they like the president, whether they hate. Like it's all, you know what I mean?
100%. You should write that down.
That's okay. So
That's like fertile territory. Someone
Yeah,
starts
yeah.
talking about something, you like see a whole fertile field
Yeah,
in
yeah.
front of them, like, oh, you can do something.
yeah, I
with
think
this.
I've tried. Well, so she would kind of like at first be like, they need to lock it all down. And then there was a bit where she was like getting mad, been like, it's been 6 months. I can't see my friends. This doesn't even make sense. And I was kind of like, just go see your friends. Who cares? There was a point where when they're saying like, you can only have 2 people. And then they're like, we upped it to 3. And I'm like, I mean, I don't know, make it 0. I'm not really paying attention to what the rules are.
It's easy to have hindsight and look back and think you would have done it differently. That's part of the problem too, because if you're the government and you tell someone something, changing course is so hard.
It's a big ass boat.
It's a big boat to steer.
Yeah.
You tell him everyone's going to die, and then you go, actually, very few people that are unhealthy are going to die, and the rest of them are going to be fine. You'd be like, what? Like, out of all the people I know?
Yeah.
Like, if you're the government and you start like taking in information as time goes on, you realize, oh, we're way off on this. Like, this is really just affects old people and overweight people.
Yeah.
Fuck. But we want to fucking keep this party going. How do I?
Yeah, and also if I don't keep the party going, I'm like I'm like the wrong, I'm like
I'm a
supporting
bad
the
person.
I'm a bad guy now.
Now you're encouraging people to get sick. Like you're not like if you've played to the people with the highest levels of anxiety, if you all of a sudden shift course and ask for courage, they'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you up to here?
Like, well, why'd you change your idea? You were with us. We were like, lock it all down. There's a lot of lock it all down people. Lock it all down and triple mask up, and no one moves. No more working. We need a redistribution of wealth.
Get in your closet. Yeah, you go, what was that? Yeah, that's so funny. You go, all right, we need to lock it down, and we need to take all your money. You go, what was that last part? You go, and also, and also less men in, in tech. And you're like, how does this one relate again? You go, just shut up. They're
Redistribute
together.
wealth through the vaccine. Yeah, a medical intervention became a sign of being a leftist.
Well,
It did, and avoiding a medical intervention became a sign of being a right winger. It was really weird.
That
really,
was the wildest.
really wild. Like if you just said like, hey, I don't think I want to take that, after what I've heard from people that took it, and people go, "What are you, a Trump supporter?" Like instantly.
Yeah,
Like,
and it
what are
wasn't.
you,
That
a
wasn't really the
right-winger?
breakdown either. It was like, kind of like a lot of old hippie types, like a lot of my like urban
Yes.
friends in Toronto. Like most
Yeah.
people that I know that wouldn't take it was like rapper dudes,
Oh yeah.
and they were
Ice Cube famously turned down a movie. I think it was worth like $9 million.
Yeah. I'm sure he didn't like Trump. I would imagine that. I would imagine the Cube wasn't loving
People
Trump.
were fucking suspicious.
T, whatever it was.
People were suspicious because it takes a long time to figure out what the overall long-term negative effects are of drugs. That's why it takes a long time for them to license them. I mean, it takes for a drug to be approved, like generally. I mean, how many years does it take for a vaccine to normally be approved?
Yeah.
And something that's like very novel, a novel type of vaccine, it's so unusual that it got approved so quick. And if it wasn't for COVID, it most likely wouldn't have, right? I mean, it was an emergency use authorization thing. For people to be nervous about something like that seems rational. It seems rational.
Well, I know the other side of it. Well, I know a lot of, kind of maybe more right-leaning dudes that were like super into the vaccine.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, if you're a Republican, you don't like the vaccine. And they were like, well, I'm a Republican. I like the vaccine because they're just older or whatever, more safe or have a different view on life.
There
But
was this narrative that you were an idiot if you didn't want to take it. Like, how do you guys know?
I know both. Yeah, I know
how do you guys
both on
know-
both sides.
Yeah, how do you guys know for sure what's happening here? How do you know for sure?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how much research are you doing? How much have you looked at the studies? Are you looking at like who it's affecting and what that there's actually things you can do to kind of mitigate that? You can take vitamins and supplements, and they boost your immune system. And you probably should
Quit
be
vaping
exercising.
might help.
Quit vaping.
I didn't look
Yeah.
at any of the studies and talked about it a lot, but
in the beginning, I think they were saying for some weird reason that people who smoked cigarettes
I
had
remember
a
that.
lower level of infection. I was like, yeah, they're probably cooking the COVID out of their system.
their body's like, hey, we got enough gunk in here. We don't have any room for any of this COVID stuff, Mr. Burns style.
I wonder if you're like a chain smoker, like you're filtering all that COVID through cigarette smoke. Like, I wonder if it actually kills the COVID that's in your lungs.
We all know someone that, is like in the worst shape, drinks, smokes nonstop, and they're the first guy up being like, let's go. And you're like, how are you not dead?
Right.
Some bodies just know how to deal with I think that is it. You just gotta first of all, you have tar, you have like a legit, just like a tar, filter,
smoke
covering
can't
your
get
whole
into
body.
it.
Yeah.
Pores are all clogged.
Yeah, there's callus. It's like construction workers with the calluses. They have that, and then the alcohol. Your liver is just like covered in a filter of alcohol. So
Your liver's just super powered.
I know
Your liver's
people like
like
that.
a power lifter.
Yeah.
Every day it's like pumping out like serious alcohol.
and that's your natural state. So I think your body too. And this is the total speculation, but. There's a point where your body essentially, it kind of gives, the reason for pain is to be like, hey, don't do that, put your,
Right.
I think your body probably gives so much, like your lungs hurt, your body hurts, but they don't listen. So the body just goes, do what you want then. We'll stop sending the sensors up to your body that this is bad.
Yeah. Your body just gives up.
Yeah, they go, sure.
Just a constant state of inflammation everywhere. So you just go numb.
That's what it is.
Yeah, there's some people that live like that for a long ass time. There's some like
Crazy, right? When those guys
heavy
live.
duty substance abusers that lived for. How old is Keith Richards?
Yeah.
He wasn't a boozer though.
Killing it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
he
it's
wasn't?
Not hardcore. I mean, he never got fat. It's the boozers that get fat that seems like that's not good. Because there's people that are overweight just because they drink too much beer. So the calories that they're
you're
consuming
drinking
in beer,
9
it's
baguettes
insane.
a night.
They're like, what is like a Bud Tall Boy? What's the calories in a Bud Tall Boy?
I would guess a tall boy, my guess would be 480.
480. Jamie, what do you think it is?
4 low
Trying to
end,
look at
5
my
high
screen 'cause
end.
I might have pulled it up. I guess like 300.
Yeah,
I thought 300 was a normal.
I was thinking like 350. So you'll go 300, I'll go 350. And would you say 4 what?
I said 450, I think.
450. Yeah.
Calories.
For a tall
Yeah.
can, though. Not Bud. Oh, did you say Bud Light or Bud?
Bud.
Yeah,
Tall
Bud.
boy.
195 and one.
That's
can.
it?
That's propaganda.
That's a lie. They're working with the government.
190.
It seems like it should be way more than that. It's only 190 calories
because
for
so
a
what's
Bud
it?
Tall boy?
So a normal one's what? 100?
That seems ridiculous.
120?
I don't buy it.
Yeah, I've seen there's like a commercial for Miller Lite or something. They're like, we're only one more calorie than Mick Ultra. It's like, oh, really?
Really?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm having trouble buying it, but well, whatever. Either way, if you drink 12 of them, it's like after
Yeah.
the end of the night, you're just like, yeah, let me just have
It's
3.
another 1,000 calories.
Let me have 2 Subway buns.
So if you just drink 5 Bud Tall Boys, which many gentlemen do on a fine Saturday evening,
Yeah.
that's 1,000 extra calories.
Yeah, every night.
It's every night. And if you hate your job, why not keep drinking? You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. So
Don't
you're right.
quit drinking if you hate your job.
That being said, I think the original hypothesis that, it's better to just be on heroin probably isn't right either.
I think heroin is probably better for you if you get the stuff that Keith Richards is getting.
If you're doing it completely right, sure.
Yeah, he's getting heroin like straight out of Afghanistan. They probably fly it
You
in
think
on
he
a
gets the
drone.
good stuff?
He probably lands in his mansion in Connecticut on a drone.
Yeah. He
Drops
definitely's
off
got
a-
the guy.
A brick. It's probably got like the brown paper over it and twine roping it together.
In 2018, he said he
Gives
only
up
been off
drinking almost.
for a year.
I got fed up with it.
Oh, he said he hasn't been on the hard booze for about a year.
So he drank
The
up
hard
until he was like
booze.
75.
That's going to be that.
Yeah, but I guarantee he's still drinking. He just
Okay.
gave up on moonshine. He's
Yeah.
probably just drinking wine or something. He said he gave up on the hard. It said the hard drinks.
Favorite drink
See?
is Jack Daniels or vodka. Occasional glass of wine still or beer.
Yeah, so we'll have beers and wine. He just gave up on drinking Jack Daniels straight out of the bottle, like right there. And he lived
Taking it easy.
He's so
Yeah.
old.
I'm just going to take it easy tonight, too.
I saw them, and it was almost
Clumps
like
of wine.
a psychedelic experience.
Really?
Yeah. I was like mesmerized when I saw. I couldn't believe they were really there. I was like, holy shit, that really is
Yeah.
Mick Jagger. That really is Keith Richards. Like, wow.
Yeah, it is cool. Where'd you see them?
They were here. They were in Austin at the
Recently?
at the racetrack. Yeah, the COTA, the Circuit of Americas. It's
Cool.
fucking crazy to watch them that old still jamming out.
Yeah.
Still doing it.
And
Mick
it
Jagger's
also-
still dancing around.
Doing like the dancing like a girl at
Dude.
like 85 is strange, right?
It's weird, but it's Mick Jagger. You let it go.
Of course, it's cool.
Whatever it is. But that's him, dude.
I actually saw them in Toronto. There's this thing called SARS stock. Do you remember when SARS was coming around, the original COVID?
Yes, I do.
So they did a big festival. I think there was like a problem where the stage broke and some people died or something. I think it was.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there was some big debacle there. But I saw them there.
Wasn't there a time like back in the day where the Hells Angels killed a guy at one of their concerts?
That used to be the deal. Is like you hire Hell's Angels to be your bouncers.
Was that what they did?
Want to hear?
I thought it was like just audience members. I thought like the
No.
Hells Angels were in the audience. Is that what happened with that?
Well, I don't know if
See if we can find that
this
story.
specific one, but that used to be like a big thing in music. Is let's hire Hell's Angels guys. But I think that
What a great idea.
I think it's a great idea until you realize they've got like they've got like a also they have a drug ring that they're running at your festival.
American man who was killed in 1969 Altamont Free Concert. During the performance by the Rolling Stones, Hunter approached the stage and he was violently driven off by members of the Hells Angels motorcycle club who agreed to serve as security guards. Oh, so you're right.
Security
That's what
guards.
it was. That is it.
You want? Can I tell you
Wow,
some?
so the guy was rushing the stage and they beat him to death? Is that what happened? I thought he got stabbed.
It was like the Chappelle thing, but they took it a little further.
But I feel like someone got stabbed.
Oh, it's on film.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Me and Jamie were talking
ready
about
for this?
all the Twitter fight
Maybe
clubs.
Shelter. Let me see.
It's on film. Oh my God. I don't know if
I guess it would be, yeah. I mean, that's most of Twitter right now is watching fight videos that I don't want to see.
Dude, there's so much on Instagram that they let through. So much like finds their way into your feed. You're like, how am I watching this? How is this okay?
I can't tell what's happening.
Yeah, that is wild.
And this is 1969, man. I don't think you or I is really I don't think we're ever going to really understand how crazy 1969 was.
No.
I think we missed it. Whatever the fuck.
People aren't big that there's no people that are that big anymore, really.
Well, there are, but it's a different thing, right? It's a different thing with the internet. The whole thing is different. It's
decentralized.
What I'm saying is like the change between the 1950s and 1969. Only
In which
19
way?
years. In the way the culture was.
Yeah.
Like think about just music. Think about Buddy Holly, like fucking, all that kind of Big Sue.
Yeah.
It's great music, but you go from that to Hendrix.
Yeah.
Like what happened? What the fuck happened?
I always
the
think that
world
there's-
changed.
Yeah, and I always look at culture through music a little bit, but like it's always that things go so far, one way and people get sick of it. Like, even like punk and stuff, it always goes like very soft, and then there's some guy kind of singing about his girlfriend and stuff like that, and then people get so sick of that shit that the next guy's like, I hate women.
Yeah, well, it's like every now and then the culture needs like a jolt of something different. Like
You get sick of it.
That's
Just get
what
sick of
Nirvana
it.
was. There was all hair bands, and then Nirvana came along, and
Yeah, the
Nirvana
grunge scene.
essentially killed the hair band.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to be moody. Like, I'm tired of partying, man. I just want to be moody. I want to be like deep.
Yeah, and also
Mysterious.
the next generation's like that. It also gets corporate too, right? So the thing becomes it's so hip and it's so
a
cool.
genre.
The genre becomes
Right.
corporate, right? And then there's some new scene that isn't like. That's why I always like all art. It's so cool to me that's why Austin to me is this, because all art always happens in these little pockets, right? Like the grunge was Seattle.
Yeah.
You guys have your Austin thing where it's like I'm even just like kind of hanging with you guys at the Vulcan. It was like there's 5 or 6 of you, and there's no one telling you what to do, and just like really just this like movement. I remember like Toronto, I felt like I had that where it was just there's no one telling you what to do. It's
Yeah.
8 people that are all kind of inventing a new little style and pushing each other, and that's how culture always kind of forms the best. And then that becomes someone from that culture gets so popular, and then after 8 years, everyone gets a little sick of that.
Yeah, they'll get sick of everything, no matter what. But this idea that shouldn't be the case. That you shouldn't. It's
cool.
Yeah, it's good. Good that things shift around.
Yeah, it's cool.
And when something is as good as Nirvana, like all that hair band stuff, there was like a weird moment where I think people lost their fucking minds, where it was all like guys had just giant big hair and wearing makeup.
Yeah.
And it was real glammy, very strange, very strange.
Yeah.
And then Nirvana came along and just fucking tanked it.
Yeah, they were
tanked
just
the
like
whole
enough
thing.
of this whole thing. Yeah.
He literally really
I'm gonna be
did.
wearing like a crappy sweater and
Yeah.
crappy jeans. Yeah.
Screaming rape me.
yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ. You're not the only one. They were so good.
Yeah.
They were so good that they tanked an opposing industry.
Honestly, yeah.
Just with their talent.
I mean-
all that stuff just went away. All that stuff went away.
That was
all that crazy hair. There was like 100 of those bands.
and they all look exactly the same too, by the
They
way.
all had crazy big hair, and they were all wearing like leopard skin jackets and shit.
Yeah,
they
they're-
had lipstick on. It was so weird.
They are
It was so
hilarious.
It was such a weird thing.
I love it. Yeah, that's
It
funny.
was such a weird thing that like a very feminized like male was like super attractive in the music business only.
Yeah. What
It
was
not
right
like one of
before
those
that?
guys was like an action star and was like kicking ass with like makeup on
Yeah.
And fucking kiss heels. There wasn't that, but there was something about those guys singing that there was you accepted a certain amount of gender bending.
Yeah. And you also, those guys, there is a big difference that I think people always miss when they're talking about like the guys used to dress like that. But those guys were dressing like that, but they were like very masculine dudes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it
Like
was a bunch, just
Paul
like
Stanley.
Yeah, just like a band van is a very similar to like a sports dressing room. It's a bunch of guys. Anytime you
Right.
put like a bunch of guys together for a long time, like there's a dynamic there, right? So yeah, they're a bunch of dudes acting like dudes, but then they put makeup on.
Yeah, and then they're giant heels.
But they're not saying
and they get their
they're
hair
women.
teased up.
Yeah.
And they fucking get out there and shake their hips. You know what the craziest thing to
And
me?
they sing about getting
Yeah.
girls too, which is funny.
Look at what Rob Halford did. Because Rob Halford from Judas Priest was so fucking good.
Yeah.
Judas Priest was so good that they got people to dress up like a biker.
Yeah.
Like everybody decided to dress up like a biker.
They got everyone on
That
board
was like
with
the
that.
thing. They kind of
Like a gay
got-
biker.
How many people? Yeah, when you find out that Rob was gay,
They tricked
you're
everyone.
like, do you know how amazing?
Do you
that
think
is?
that there was any guy at the club when they found out he was gay that was like, what the?
my God.
Ripping off his leather?
Do you know how many guys must
What
have tweaked out when they found out he was gay?
He's got the gimp mask
you
on
got
with the
another
zip.
thing coming. Dun, 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 dun.
You're telling me this guy's gay? Ripping off his bondage outfit.
Dude, I had a friend of mine in high school. He used to listen to Rob Halford. Like, you got another thing coming. That was like his mantra. Like for him,
He loved it.
Getting out of the town. He was that dude that was like kind of like socially troubled, and he had to get out of the town. He was gonna make his way. You got another thing. That was his. I remember going, damn, that is a fresh song. That song was amazing.
So he would listen to that song
Yeah.
to get hyped up about leaving town? Did he
Yeah,
leave? Did he
I
ever
don't
get
know.
out?
I lost touch with him.
If you ever
I
go
don't know
back
what
and he's like
happened.
working at the tackle shop.
I'm only in touch with a couple of my friends from the high school. Two of my best friends that I'm still friends with.
That's all you need.
Back then, my two friend Jimmies. Those were guys I went to high
Jimmies?
school with. The Jimmies, yeah. But they went to North. I went to high school in Newton South, so we were like
Yeah.
in the same town, but we didn't go to the same school. So I'm only friends with one dude who was from my art class. Who was like the best artist in the art class. This guy John DeVore, and he and I we communicate on email sometimes. But he was like the guy when we were kids. It was like this amazing comic book illustrator.
How's he doing now? Was he a comic book
He's got-
illustrator?
No, he runs a speaker company.
Interesting
He actually
world.
stopped doing art for the same reason that I did, because the teacher that we had in high school was such a douchebag. He made you not want to do art.
Interesting. What did he do?
He was just miserable.
He was like, you
And
can
so
try this, but it's a waste of time.
So this guy, John, my friend from high school, told me that teacher gave him an F. And I just told you he was the most talented guy in the class, by far.
Yeah.
I was number 3. There was this dude named Kevin. He was number 2, and I was number 3. But we both did it. All three of us did a comic book together.
Cool.
Yeah, like some martial arts dragon thing. I forget what it's called. But we
When you're young, it's so funny because
Oh,
you're
my
like,
God.
we're gonna take over the world with
we
this comic
loved
book
it.
stuff.
Like,
Yeah.
and we would hang out and do art together. But the teacher was such a twat. He was such a twat. He was like this
Ruined it for you.
miserable older guy with I remember his pot belly, like he was pregnant. But he was a tiny man. It was like, he was very thin, but with a pot belly.
Yeah.
And he was just saying, you're not going to be able to do what you want to do with your life. If you're going to be an artist, you're going to have to draw things you don't want to draw. There's no way.
Like me,
yeah.
nude after class if you want an A. Not everyone gets what they want.
Bro, he doesn't want to fuck anybody. He didn't want to fuck anybody.
Yeah.
He just wanted to go to sleep. That guy was just
Hated his
He was
life.
miserable, and he was just really bad to be around, because you were young and full of energy, and you just wanted to like do something with your life, and this is a thing
Yeah.
that you were doing that you were kind of getting good at. Of
course.
And you're like, maybe I could be an artist. I love comic books. Maybe I could draw comic books.
Yo, the
I'm like,
art teacher
guy
says no.
was such a cunt. He was such a cunt. You're like, oh my God, I got to get away from you. So negative.
It's kind of a weird thing with art because, it is true when someone says, hey, this isn't a good idea.
Yeah.
Like, they're right statistically. So there is something to be said about, like, I feel like you actually need most people being like, listen, this is probably a bad idea to try to be a comedian. Like,
Yes.
that is the actual responsible. So when parents, they're like, that's okay, this is not a good idea. They're right. But you only need one person that's like, you can though. Like you need one guy in your corner. You can't have every person says no, because then it's too, you're too afraid. But I think that a lot of times there's this weird, like, sometimes people say you need too much support. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if everyone's like, you could do this, like,
That's
because
too
the people
much.
that are going to make it, you are going to break through a level of adversity usually, The people who are going to make it work, they don't care that people are saying no. But if everyone's saying no, I feel like that's what like ruins some people that could have been great. Does that make sense? or is
Everyone's
that
saying
silly?
no, so like their family is saying no.
Yeah, like imagine your dad's like, listen, go to school. This probably isn't a good idea. Your mom's saying that. Maybe your teacher's saying that. But then you had one teacher that's like, no, you got something here. Like give one encouraging person for a guy. Like I think a lot of young dudes don't have like one encouraging person.
That's interesting. Yeah. Well, I think also, whatever the fuck you're trying to do, whether you're trying to do stand-up comedy or anything else, it's gonna be a long ass road and you can't hope you get successful really quickly. And
Yeah.
the problem with comedy, as opposed to everything else, is that people think they have like a giant head start. Like a lot of people have the courage to do it are a little delusional about.
And you
like,
need a little bit of that.
yeah, you need a little bit of that. But those people, like, when it's a fine line.
That's what I
'Cause
mean,
We
yeah.
really don't know until it works. Like, so many different people succeed in stand-up comedy that you wouldn't have thought would have if you didn't know any better, or if you didn't see them in like the first year of their career when they sucked.
Yeah.
If you only saw them like 7-8 years later, you would probably never imagine how bad they sucked 8 years ago. You know, there's certain guys like that.
Yeah, yeah. Or how, like, much of a dick they were or something,
But it's all about constant improvement and constantly working at it. And some people just don't do that, man. The thing about comedy is nobody tells you to do it. Like, if you're a comic, you can kind of fuck off.
Especially, if you've, like, there is if you're like in New York and you kind of are making a living, maybe have a podcast, you can really just like do the bare minimum.
Yeah.
But-
you just do a few sets here and there and do the same 15 minutes.
But whenever you see those people, like I always kind of, like a little bit binary with people, I'm always like, would you bet on that guy? Like when you see someone 2-3 years in, I don't say, I
would
never
you bet on 'em?
That's what I say. I go, I don't say like, what should they do better? What should they do worse? Like, what moves should they make? Should this guy be this? Should he be that? I just go, would you bet on that guy? And if yes, he'll figure the rest out.
Yeah.
That's what I usually think.
Yeah.
And there's a few people I can think like that where I'm like, I would bet on. And then there's public people you'll see someone come on the scene and you go, that guy's going to be huge. Like you can just tell.
Oh,
you know?
yeah. There's certain guys that there's certain people that just have a thing. And you're like, wow, you got a thing. Like,
I
look at
love
that thing. Yeah.
When you see a new guy, you go, who's this guy?
Yeah. And then there's other people that just keep getting a little better. Just keep getting a little better. And then you see him a year later, you're like, nice, man. Like how you tighten that up.
Compounds.
Keep getting better. Like the first time I saw Tim Dillon, he was very funny. It was very funny. But the second time I saw him was a long time later. Second time I saw him live was a long time later. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I go, dude, that was amazing. It was
Something
amazing.
clicks, right?
Yeah, he was just doing the road a lot. He said he was just constantly doing the road. So he's like doing all these headliner spots. He's doing so much time. He's like everything just tightened up and,
Especially when you're doing there's different personalities are easier to do when you're starting. Like let's say you're like a big, fun, fat guy. Like
yeah.
that personality, 6 months in can kind of connect,
Right.
But if you're being like an asshole, like there's so many people where you're like, that's really funny, but not enough funny for how much of you're being an asshole.
Right. You're not likable at all.
I'm that. Like
Yeah.
it took me forever to figure out that right like balance of like telling the audience I'm better than them, but also like I don't know. It takes
There's also a defensive thing too, right? Because like if you think you're gonna bomb, a little bit of you is like fuck these people, because like you don't want to admit that you're not doing it right yet. You want to believe that it's them. Can't be me.
The audience has no data whatsoever. Do you know what? This is what I was kind of thinking of. What I kind of feel like the audience sometimes, because there is comics that almost treat it like a job, especially in cities. I'm sure in LA you saw a lot of this. Boston, you probably saw a ton of this. The guys that it's a very like a job for them where they go, hey, oh yeah, the 10 o'clock's pretty good. The 11 o'clock, a little bit of a loud table at the back. The sex stuff doesn't go. You probably want to keep it to the relationship material for the table. And like it's very, like we want the audience to have a good time. That's the job, right?
Right.
And I was kind of thinking like, it's almost, the game Keep Up? Like,
No.
Like where you just like, you're playing with like let's say like a soccer ball and you're just trying to keep it in the air, like with your feet. And
okay.
Yeah, just like a simple game like that or hacky sack, right?
Right.
I feel like sometimes stand-ups like Keep Up where if you just say that the job is to keep the ball in the air, that's the job. But then you go, what's the guy doing when the ball's in the air? The other guy's like underneath doing like a flip. Then he puts it up. But if you're just watching the ball in the air, that's the audience. So there is data. If it fell down, you go, that didn't work.
Right.
But the data is like, you want to keep, the job is to keep the ball in the air, keep the audience happy. But then what else are you doing while you're even able to do that? That's kind of how I think of stand-up a little bit sometimes.
Interesting. That's an interesting way to think about it.
Because you're like, yeah, those two people both killed. They both did the job. You're like, that guy did a backflip and then did the ball. That guy just kept it up again.
Yeah. Well, I definitely feel like that if I feel like someone is using tricks. Like if someone's killing with tricks.
All
I'm
of the
like,
tricks.
That's a little tricky.
You ever seen someone kill and you're just like, oh man, they're like someone that you know, and they're like, oh man, that guy's killing. And I didn't know they kill like that. And you walk and you come, it's crowd work.
Crowd work.
You get the person's slaughtering. You go, oh, I didn't know that Kevin killed like that, or whatever. I'm making up a name.
Yeah, crowd work is an interesting one because sometimes it's the most fun. Sometimes when something goes
Oh,
wrong,
it's so
the most
fun.
fun.
Of course.
Just the live moment of just being around people and doing stand up. It's like this, like they know that it's you might fuck up at any moment. You know, they know that you're killing and everything's going great. But we're all like locked in this weird hive mind. And when something goes wrong or something happens or some crazy person, there's something about it, as long as you can keep it in line. There's something about it that's kind of exciting because it's like, yeah, this is live.
Yeah.
Like, this is live. This is how it really is. Like,
I know.
This isn't just a planned out performance. Like, shit can go sideways. It's fun. Like, people like watching people do a little high wire walk. You know, like there's something about
love
that.
it.
They enjoy it. So when shit goes sideways during a show.
No, and there's such like the subtle differences that you kind of like hone over the year of like, I'm sure you've done a bit that, you know, you kind of started saying it at the beginning of, you know, working on it, and people in the audience were like, yo, finally someone says that, you know? And then you find like 9 months later you're doing that bit and people in the audience are kind of like, yeah. And you're like, was this a hot take 9 months ago and now everyone agrees with that?
Hot takes are way more transient today, don't you think?
Yes. I mean, I don't even mean like a cultural hot take.
Right.
I mean like a, you know, this whole idea's out. It could even be like a idea, you know, discussion or whatever. But yeah, of course, hot takes. You get 4 months out of them, maybe. Yeah.
It used to be a hot take could last a long time. Narratives were established and they
Things move so
lasted a
quick.
long time. Yeah.
Why
Like,
d-
look how quick the pregnant man became an emoji.
Of course.
It was really quick.
And someone does it perfect, right? That's what. You know what they need is the titties teacher needs to get like a fake pregnant belly and come in
Yes.
and be like, I'm pregnant now.
Yes, I need pregnancy time.
Yeah. Pregnant man.
And everybody was like, okay, you get it. You get your pregnancy time. They would 100% let her. Him,
Yeah.
it, she, them, they, whatever I'm supposed to say. I don't know if he's running a con or if, that's what the claim is.
If it
But
is,
it could also be that's how they want to move around in disguise. And that's not their true identity. Their true identity is her with the capital Z tits.
Yeah, that's they like when you looked in the mirror without the tits. She's like, it doesn't. I'm looking at a stranger right now.
It's so
Who
just
are
so
you?
wild that the school's like, yeah,
I'm
go
living in a
ahead.
stranger's body without big tits.
Yeah, without big tits, just don't know who I am.
How funny is it being a guy that being like, you know, that's how I see my wife. That's why she needs to get implants because I have this thing in my head. When I look at her, I just picture.
God, we're so weird.
It's such a weird time for everything.
Such a weird time for everything. People just like, there's something about this. The pandemic accelerated everything because it accelerated this disconnect that we have with each other. It accelerated the division between the right and the left. Accelerated everything, and it also accelerated this weird culture war. It's accelerated all this gender pronoun stuff and so much trans stuff, and it's like there's like an ideological storm that's going on. It seems like.
To me,
It's
it
like
felt like it was
anxiety, and then Ukraine, like this
All
idea
of
that we
it.
have to support Ukraine. Like, how much information do you have about this?
yeah.
To say that you we should be supporting the potential start of World War III. Like, how much information do you have? Do
Well,
you
I know
about
that I'm a
the-
good guy if I do it. That's all really I need.
Exactly. Do you know about the potential outcomes if this progresses?
Yawn.
Yeah. Boring. Not interested. I'm just going to put a Ukraine flag in my bio. You could put a Ukraine flag in your bio with zero understanding of what's going on.
Sure. I did a video about that, but
Did you?
Yeah, I did I'm a Ukraine guy video.
Your fucking videos are very funny, dude.
Oh,
I
thanks,
really
buddy.
enjoy
I
them.
appreciate
I
that.
enjoy that you take so many chances and you just fuck around all the time and you're always doing new subjects. It's really fun.
Yeah, that's all I've been since I was young. I just wanted to make videos. That's all.
Yeah, your videos are great. They're really fun.
But that's what you're saying. Like everything got wild. It's kind of crazy. And just because the industry did change so much, but the way that things are decentralized and the players, someone like you or Louis and Burr retweeting videos. To me, that's Moving America. That's way cooler than anything that could be happening at Comedy Central or whatever. Like, to me, that's so the way that the game's like changed, and that's so much more important. Like, I have a manager that legitimately I don't talk to. You know, every once in a while he'll call me and be like, "Hey, do you want hey, you should like write a movie about this and try to pitch it." And I'll be like, "Yeah, get on that." And then, you know, sort of like get off the phone, and he'll be like, they'll say me things like, "Do you want to audition for this?" And I'll be like, "No." And then I'll be like, "I tell people I'm offer only." And he goes, "Okay, well, anyways, no offers." So that's, I guess, that. And you're just like, what is this even? Like, this is the podcasting, touring, like making videos. Like, I'm running like a production studio. I got 6 employees. Like, this is so much better than, in my opinion, what it was before. So everything has like a positive and negative.
Well, if you wanted to do television shows, though, if that was your thing.
I did. That's all I wanted to do.
You know, you can kind of do the same thing now with video. I mean, didn't Ridley Scott just film an entire movie with this new Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra?
Yeah.
These fucking cameras on modern smartphones are so good.
It's all the lighting, too.
People
in
are
that
filming
case, yeah.
movies. They did one on an iPhone as well, right?
Of course.
You can kind of do it now. I
Yeah.
mean, you kind of can do that now. These things have 8K video.
It's the whole thing's very, it's all, you know, become a great editor. It's like the most important
just
thing.
do it. You can do it yourself. What my point is, like, and you can upload it yourself, and it'll get seen instantly, and people can share it. The craziest thing ever that's happening now is the ability to just share something. So if you put up a video and it resonates, and then people are like, "Ah, ha, ha, Ryan killed it," and then I'll send it to this guy, and this guy will send it to that guy, and then boom, and the videos just go up, man. It's wild.
I've had so many of those, and
it's all friends
and
friends
and not even
finding it at work.
publicly, sending it privately, which is a lot of my philosophy with, like, you know, my podcast and everything is like the kind of like the way that guys talk when girls aren't there, and when a girl's there, it's a little different. And I kind of think of the videos that way too, and just I'll do it even though I maybe shouldn't. I just do it the way I do it, right? And yeah, when you have that many people like sharing it all, you kind of, it just created this like whole new ecosystem. And with kind of like, do you know how it used to be? Yeah, making TV shows was cool, and I still like would want to do that. But
yeah, everybody wanted a Comedy Central show or an HBO show.
I made a few TV shows when I was in Canada. And
everybody wanted like a sitcom. The sitcom days in the 90s, man, that's all anybody wanted. It was like the gold rush. It was literally like people were coming out here. They were pioneers. They were biting rocks.
What about a janitor?
Yeah, bro, it was crazy. Like,
what about a janitor and he wears a weird hat and he's a detective?
Had a bunch of ideas that she was trying to pitch through the store. She was gonna like develop them through the store.
Loved a guy with a hook. Yeah,
but there was like. Fuck, man, that
well,
was
we just
the gold
talked. I was
rush.
on the
Like
plane
Kevin
with Roseanne.
James, Roseanne. Yeah, there's the Jerry Seinfelds of the world. That was
yes,
the
dear.
thing.
Just all these random ones you forget about.
Yeah. Tim Allen. If you could get a fucking sitcom, you were made, man. So everybody was just doing that, and now it's different. Now it's like that doesn't even really exist anymore. Like there's such a small amount of sitcoms. It's not like the old days where every network had sitcoms on Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Sunday. They had sitcoms Thursday.
Yeah.
Sitcoms were on all the time. Now, I don't think they have that many anymore. There's like a few on Netflix.
If you watch a laugh track sitcom now, you're just like, yo, this is crazy.
It's weird.
Is this
Why
a
are these
parody?
people laughing in your house? You have a fucking audience in your house while you guys are arguing about who leaves the seat up.
This is a horror movie, dude. Yeah, why aren't they scared?
It's a horror movie. It's a horror movie. That's funny.
People in the attic that keep laughing at you whatever you do. I open the peanut butter
Every time you fuck up, you just roars of laughter. You're in hell.
Yeah, you're
under the microscope forever and ever and ever. Oh my
Ryan,
God.
you didn't open the jar right again.
Dude, that's a Black Mirror episode if I've ever heard one.
You're trapped in a
sitcom.
What about this? A horror movie and a guy that's killing every podcaster that was on this one podcast.
What does this say? They're increasing?
There's 3 times as many scripted shows now as
No,
there
but
was
like,
in 2009.
yeah,
but like,
but sitcom.
multi-camera sitcoms.
Right.
Comedy's included in
No,
that.
no,
Scripted
I
drama,
understand.
comedy, TV
I
shows.
understand comedy's included, but what I'm talking about is comedy
No, I
by
understand.
itself. I just mean sitcoms. I understand there's scripted shows, but
What
that
it
also
is-
includes Law and Order,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
includes Game of Thrones, that includes. What I'm saying is,
Oh, okay. You're saying there's more
I'm just
TV
saying
shows.
There's more TV shows in general, and
Yeah.
there's less comedy too.
Less
which is like-
comedy, right?
there's definitely
yeah, it's
more TV
unproportional.
shows than ever, but I want to know like how many sitcoms are there now? Is there
With a
list of
laugh
that?
track.
Yeah, those, the old school kind, multicam,
Yo, like legitimately where there's
Yeah.
a studio audience laughing. I know.
where everybody has to stand sideways when they talk because the camera's right here.
Yeah,
You have
yeah.
to like stand sideways and talk like this.
I mean, Big Bang Theory was maybe pretty recent, I guess.
Yeah, that was pretty recent.
I mean, it went to pretty recent. It didn't start pretty
The
recent.
Roseanne show that got canceled, that was pretty recent.
I don't know if it had a laugh track or whatever, but
I think it had an audience. I mean, when you say laugh track,
studio audience.
there was a studio audience.
Okay.
Yeah.
They just brought back Night Court.
What?
That is a sitcom, and they remade it. John Larroquette's on it.
No shit.
Yeah. There's a Damon Wayans show that's in the works.
Hell yeah.
There's
On
stuff.
CBS.
Yeah, there's stuff out there. It's just like no one. Again, no one's watching.
Yeah.
There's a thing like.
But there's way less than there used to be, though, right? Isn't it? Because back in the Friends days, when I
Or
was
they're
on
on
news
some
radio,
weird things. Like these are not
Caroline in the
yeah.
City, there was like they were every night. There was multiple
everything.
sitcoms,
And they were big deals. These are,
Yeah.
you know, a run on some new network. You go, what's that channel? You go, oh, it's we just invented it.
Yeah, and I remember like
XBC 455555.
CBS was big on dramas. CBS for drama, and NBC had the sitcoms, and then the ABC had some big sitcoms too. But man,
I do feel like moving, like I think of my biggest mistake when I look back at my life, not my big, but like one of the things I like was stupid that I won't do again, I don't think, was I was very, very set on like making TV shows. Like I really like loved Tom Green, and I was doing all these DVDs, and I was so like set on that I followed that like dream 4 years after it was like over. Do you know what I mean? I was like, no one cared about TV. It was like over. I was sort of like not in vogue in television, but I just like, I was so set. So I try to be more, I think moving into like, as more technological everything gets, the more mobility mentally and physically will be like rewarded in most industries more so than ever before. That's what I think.
you might be right.
Yeah.
I'm always curious as where things are going.
Would you ever do a sitcom or like a movie again? Or is that
No,
like,
I don't think so.
Have you
I
just
would
made
do
a
a movie
movie?
with a friend, like for fun.
Yes.
Like, last movie I did was with Kevin James. He's a good friend of mine. It was fun.
yeah, that's cool.
Those I did a couple of them with him, but it's just it's just too time consuming, and it's not my favorite thing to do.
Super
That's all it
time
is.
consuming.
It's not that I don't think it's fun, because it is fun. I love doing news radio. News radio was a lot of fun, but other things are fun too, and they don't take as much time, and I enjoy them more. Like I enjoy podcasts more than I ever enjoyed acting. I
Yeah.
enjoy like having scientists on, getting to fucking pick their brain, and ask questions, and talking to world champion athletes and comedians. It's fucking fun. So like if I was gauging like do you want to act? Well, the problem is it takes too much time, and it's not as fun as the other thing.
Yeah,
So I
it
don't wanna
really
do
isn't.
It's not as fun.
And you're never like the top level of acting is you can cry and do a lot of different characters. All the other stuff, you're just like, I don't know. I guess they're all good at it.
Right. There's some like regular detective TV show
You know, who
type
couldn't do
acting.
that?
Who can't fucking do that? Who can't pretend to be a detective on like a CBS 10 p.m.
Sure.
drama?
Yeah. How many people like rappers and everything
Yeah.
like that just
Oh my
became
God.
actors and they're all
Basketball players
Yeah, yeah.
fit right in
what
in
other
big movies.
Nothing
right?
else in the world has that ever happened with. No guy's been like, you know what?
Yeah.
I've done enough rapping. I'm gonna go be the best dentist in the world.
Exactly. Because if you really think about it, like how many people have done that? How about Jesse Ventura? He went back and forth. Guy was a Navy SEAL. He's a UDT diver. Then he goes on to become a WWE champion and a big
Sure.
movie star. Then he becomes the governor of Minnesota.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, wild. And then I think, yeah, he's had like a crazy run.
Crazy run.
the wrestler. It also a lot of wrestlers have big careers after.
Well, they're big personalities, and also the
Yeah.
the character that you have to endure the punishment those guys take. I mean, those guys are beating the fuck out of each other. They're throwing each other on top of tables and fucking beating
Yeah.
each other into turnstiles. Like, you get rattled. Like, everyone's getting rattled.
For
Everyone's getting
like
injured.
no money at the beginning too, so there's like a love for it.
Whew. Yeah.
Some of
It's a hard way to make a living.
Yeah. Well, that used to be like one of my favorite things to watch. The like,
Pro wrestling?
The old wrestling
You
documentaries.
should get together with Tony.
I actually do like pro wrestling, but I really like the old that was more when I was young. I don't like follow like that now, but you know, the Jake the Snake documentary.
Sure.
And some of them are so wild, dude, where you're just like, this guy was the king of the world, and you're like, here's my like, you know, shack that I live in, and my you know, my wife who's a hooker, whatever. I don't know. Just like these wild lives. He's like, here's my pills I got to take so I can walk, and it's like, you know, a pill drawer the size of a barrel. Just goes on and on.
Diamond Dallas Page has this whole yoga thing that he does to rehabilitate these guys. It's amazing. He's achieved some amazing results, and Jake the Snake too. He went with him. He's so agile for a guy that like has a completely fucked up back. He just does yoga every day.
Yeah.
And he does his sort of dynamic style of yoga, and it's like he's got all these videos where he shows guys that were all fucked up with back injuries, and he slowly worked them up to the point where they can run.
Did you do yoga?
Yeah, I do yoga. Yeah.
I've had very bad voice issues over my life, and I had to get like surgery and stuff. And whatever.
What was it?
I just had like nodes, but like crazy ones.
Do you scream in yoga?
Yeah, so I got them from yoga. You want to tell me what to do?
Imagine if there was a yoga class.
Namaste!
A yoga class that did not enforce any discipline and let you scream if it hurt. Because that's the whole thing about yoga is everybody just deals with their own shit. You can't just be like, oh, fuck!
Yeah, you know what's funny?
Fucking fuck, I can't keep my fucking foot up, bro. Imagine that's your yoga class. It's like part of it is you're allowed to express yourself any way you like. People would completely take advantage of it. All these needy, narcissistic fucks would be just screaming in every yoga class.
Yoga.
It's rage yoga?
Rage
Is it a
yoga.
thing?
They're all
They're
flipping
drunk?
off and shit. They're drinking alcohol.
Rage yoga. He's giving them the middle finger.
They're drinking. Look, they have fucking beer in the class. That's hilarious.
It's at a bar, but yeah.
Oh my god!
Calling
what
everyone
a
yoga
great
pussies.
idea. That's in Kansas City. What's the bar? Give a shout out to the bar. What a great idea. They're drinking and doing yoga.
I did yoga once, and it like really helped. But I hated it so much. I was like, yeah, that helped a lot, but I hated it so much. I was like, we're not gonna be doing that again.
It's hard.
It stinks.
It's very hard, but you get better at it if you keep doing it, and it's really good for your body. And it's also like it does something to your brain chemicals that I think it's very hard to get in other workouts. It relaxes you in a different way. It's like you have you're more. It sounds stupid to say because it's so cliche, but you're more peaceful.
Yeah.
It like literally makes you more peaceful.
So then rage yoga, you think?
It's a terrible idea.
You know what's funny though?
But it sounds like fun. Anything that gets you doing something.
I know a guy that did gay conversion therapy.
Oh boy.
And he said it's a lot of that.
Screaming at each other?
Yeah, like
With hard-ons? What is that? What you just showed me, Jamie? They just let it go.
What's this?
Screaming the
Screaming
new
yoga.
yoga. Oh, so there's a new yoga for screamers. Okay, a powerful way to vent your frustrations and release stress. Shouting at the top of your lungs could very well be the star wellness trend of 2021. Well, you missed that. That was a bad prognostication.
Yeah.
That didn't work out.
That is a bold move too. You go 2022. Yeah, you go 2023. You go. I think in the next 2 years, screaming yoga is going to be the whole thing.
The reason why
I should be fired.
It's important to be quiet in yoga is because it's good for you too. It's good for you to learn it and keep your shit to yourself. Like this idea that you're supposed to scream out at every emotion you feel, at every pain, every twitch. Like you never hear anybody in yoga class going like, ah! Never.
No, it's crazy.
But you'll hear wild shit at the gym where people are putting on a show.
Yeah, that's.
But then you have that other gym that like won't even let you make noise when you work out.
They have a silent gym?
Planet Fitness.
Wait, Planet Fitness says no noises?
Yeah, isn't it Planet Fitness? Is that the company?
They have a lunk alarm.
Yeah.
And
if you're
everything's in
too
black and
loud-
white?
Yeah, if you're too loud, they kick you out. They have an alarm that goes off. I'm not kidding. It's a lunk alarm.
That is embarrassing, though, eh? Getting kicked out
If you
'cause you're
look
too
at
loud.
that, for anyone who grunts, drops weight, or judges,
What's
you can't
judging?
judge.
What's
Hey,
judging?
bro, I don't like the way you're doing your squats.
You call that a squat? All right.
Call it a squat, bitch. Yeah, that's judgy. You can't be judging.
Can't be judgy.
So you can't be a lot of things, and you can't make noise. They kick you out.
You come by, tell a guy, hey, we have a men's section too, stuff like that.
Well, it's kind of they're kind of right though. If they want it to be like yoga class, you just work out really hard and don't make any noises. Don't be grunting, bro.
I don't do huge grunts, but like zero noise.
Like what is at what point is it officially a grunt? What if it's just fucking breathing hard?
yeah.
Are you allowed to do that? No, that's too much noise. You have to lift it like this.
Yeah, you're just scared like a scared child.
Yeah, you have to only breathe out.
They don't
gently.
They wouldn't want me there because I go, take that, Dad! Yeah, Dad!
Look at this, no supersetting. Please refrain from doing the following exercises: T rows, overhead presses, clean and jerks, and deadlifts. That's too far.
Those are exercises that make
They
you grunt.
they took it too far. They
don't
took
do
it too
'em.
far. No, you can't tell someone they can't deadlift at a gym. That's ridiculous.
Not at our gym.
It's one of the most important lifts that you do.
Planet Fitness. I don't know.
I mean, I still do it. I do it with
a big
kettlebells,
chain,
and light
too.
weights,
It's a
but I
place for
do it.
treadmills, not lifting weights.
Well, I get it, but if you have weights, people are going to lift the weights. For you to tell people that they can't use them properly is stupid.
I think Arnold would call that a girly man gym.
Girly man. Yeah. So they have regular. Is that a Smith machine? That looks like a Smith machine. Yeah. So do they have regular weights or just Smith machine weights?
That one picture had.
You can't really deadlift on.
machines. Yeah, it's just a
I
bunch
mean,
of
they
machines,
must have.
really.
No, they have dumbbells over in the corner. So, like, to say that you can't like clean and overhead press with dumbbells, like, what are you talking about? What can I do? I can't deadlift. What about with dumbbells? Can I do lunges? Like, what am I allowed to do?
Yeah,
Like,
that's crazy.
limiting the actual exercises that people.
How do you
can
think that even happened? Like, was that the complaining community was emboldened?
Well, I think people want a place where they can go and just work out at their own pace. And they don't want to go to a gym that has a bunch of competitive, hyper people
I gotcha.
that are like really into powerlifting.
This is
and
recreational
screaming
gym,
at
yeah.
each other. Because, yeah, if you go to like a real hardcore gym, like these real hardcore like powerlifting gyms like Westside Barbell, like when you go to those gyms, like
The
people
outdoor
are
ones?
screaming at each other, like
Sure.
let's go. They're doing crazy bench presses and overheads and squats and
Yeah, yeah.
deadlifts and those guys scream at each other. You don't want that. If you're like a little old lady who just wants to like read her Kindle
Or like a
and
scrawny comedian. Like,
walk on a treadmill, you don't want to be around that. So you want a place that's an alternative to that.
I will say I don't love when someone spots me without me asking. Like, it just feels a little like condescending or something.
It's a little.
Like you could do something, the guy comes out and just like grabs your arm. It's
Yes.
like, all right, bro, let's go. You go, get off of
Yeah,
me.
what are you doing?
Who are you?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you touching me?
They're only 15.
I'm your new friend, bro.
yeah, you guys. They're 15.
We're gonna meet here every day at 10 a.m. Like, what?
Yeah.
Fuck happened?
3 weeks later, you're like, what is? Now I live with the guy.
He's eating your Cheerios. Hey, man, where's my fucking Cheerios? Oh,
You got-
sorry, bro. I'll get you back. I'll get you back.
This one really got away from me.
Oh, no. This guy's living with me now.
So it starts, dude.
Some people can just figure out a way into your life, man.
Yeah, don't let your friends drink and drive or gym and drive. Before you know
Some
it.
fucking crazy con artist. With guys, it's so easy for a girl to do that. Like if a guy's a single guy and a girl's a con artist and she's hot,
yeah.
it just slips right into your life.
Uh-huh.
Like you ever had a friend that just like, what are you doing, man? Hey, man, what are you doing? You know, you're living with a con artist.
Wait, what?
You know, you're living with a con artist. Like, have you ever
Like the
known a
guy
friend-
will say that?
No. Like, are we miscommunicating?
Yeah,
I
on
feel
this
like we
one.
are.
Sorry.
I'm saying that, like, if you're a hot woman and you're like a con artist, like, you can weasel your way into a guy's life pretty easy.
1,000%.
Pretty easy.
Yeah.
You're hot.
Yes. There's right now probably over millions of men in America that are living with a con artist that have no
Oh, yeah.
idea.
If you're like a dude, okay, let's propose this scenario. If you're a dude and you're like a 6 on your best day,
Yeah.
and there's this 9 Russian chick, she's like a 9, And she meets you at work, and she says, "I really like your smile." And all of a sudden, you're like, "She likes my smile."
Yeah.
Before you know it, she's living with you. She's on your credit cards. You're leasing her a car.
They know how to do it too.
They can get in with if a man is like not in the same league as a woman. If the woman is like way hotter than him, and he's single and he's been lonely and he's looking for a relationship, and a girl like that comes along and is nice to him, it's almost irresistible.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen guys that were like very wealthy guys that like all of a sudden this hot woman's living with them, and I'm like, okay, well, this is just like someone's going to extract a bunch of money from you and then abandon you.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. Like, you realize, like, sometimes people are being preyed upon.
Yeah, there's certain dudes that I always say that they're the kind of person, and then they'll let themselves get preyed, and then they'll kind of blow up and be like, I've had enough. And you're like 3 years later after you took all your money or whatever. Those people need to be with someone that's nice, because if you're like a Mark, you just need someone that you can trust them to not take advantage of you.
Yeah, they just need someone nice. And sometimes they don't find it, though. Sometimes they get conned.
At least the pickup artist dudes, it's like they sleep with you and that's it. They don't they don't Tinder swindler. There's a few, but the most of the dudes, it's like at least they're just trying to sleep with you and that's the end of it.
Yeah, it's a weird thing because it disturbs me a little bit when I see people get conned, or when I feel like someone is like making a ploy to get a hold of someone's money. But it doesn't bother me nearly as much as like seeing like if a really young hot guy is doing that to an old lady. There's something disturbing about that to me.
It's like sickening.
There's something sad about. There's something, like when you see, because every now and then like a hot male con artist will get involved with like an older rich divorcee.
Yeah.
And there's this like real sad aspect to it because he's pretending to like her just to get to her money, and she's very jealous. Where are you going out? Relax, I'm just going out with my friends. And he's like hot and 30, and she's like 62.
I think I know why it's sad.
Something sad about that.
I think I know why, because with the girl-guy one, the guy
trolled for
this
proposing
is
to
fake,
soulmate 76. How many billions does Grandma have?
Fake, I thought so too. But
I think this. No, not fake.
Yeah,
yeah. He was messing with people. Like he convinced everyone. It wasn't like, he did it on purpose. Like it was a prank.
It's a troll.
Yeah, troll.
Yeah.
But if you think of a guy and you go, your 70-year-old friend, right, and some 20-year-old girl, you go, well, he's like, I want to have sex with her, and he is getting what he's being, at least. Yeah. Whereas the girl, she's like, oh, I have this emotional connection with this guy, so she's getting sold a more fake thing than the guy.
100%.
Maybe that's why it's a little more sad.
But it's also the power thing, the power dynamic. There's like something that doesn't bother me at all about an old rich guy that gives up some of his money to some crafty young hooker.
Exactly.
I find that hilarious.
Yeah,
I'm like,
funny.
First of all, he's old as
you
fuck.
Got.
He's still got most of his money. Whatever, he'll be fine. But an old lady that thinks that she's actually in love with this young man.
I love it, dude. Some of my favorite things is when you see like a wedding photo and it's just like the fattest, oldest dude with just like some 21-year-old, and you're like, this guy's not, and especially because he's rich, so he's probably somewhat like, has his, not a total moron. So if you told him that, you're like, she's just using you, bro, and he's probably like, yeah, I don't know, okay.
Yeah, no one cares. Men don't care. They know, but it's also, the woman is attracted to the amount of money and power that the guy has for some strange reason, where men aren't generally as attracted to a woman's power and money. Generally, we're more attracted to, it is an attractive quality, but it's not, we gravitate towards like bodies and faces and personalities. It's like guys don't necessarily dwell too much on other shit, whereas women do. So if a woman sees a guy that's like a literal billionaire, like a Rupert Murdoch type dude, like that's gotta be like, there's something about that. It's got to be weirdly attractive.
And there's the power that he's kind of the top dog at this place.
The amount of resources that he has.
The resources. So many kids.
He had a hot wife too. Didn't he just get divorced? Didn't Rupert Murdoch? Is Rupert Murdoch divorced? Did I just make that up? But we might have to edit that out. Let me say it again.
That seems like you have some.
I don't know if he did or didn't. I don't want to say he did, but he had. My point is, he had a hot wife.
It seems like you've got some inside scoop. You're like,
No.
did the divorce happen yet?
Last year,
Yeah. Okay, he did.
Jerry Hall.
That's right. Well, he had Jerry Hall, but even before Jerry Hall, he had a hot wife, another hot wife. But Jerry Hall was Mick Jagger's wife. Yeah, this Chinese lady.
She went from Mick
Was
Jagger.
she Chinese? I think so. Oh my God, she's so hot.
Wow.
Bro, she's so hot.
Yo, respect though, right?
Wow.
His third ex-wife. Yeah, wasn't that long even.
Third ex-wife.
He keeps trade-
Respect. What is her
trading them.
nationality? What is? I don't want to be disrespectful. Whatever it is, they're making some fucking hot ladies. Whatever that nationality is.
Chinese-born American.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. Whatever. Wherever that lady's genes are from, fucking mwah, kiss the dirt. She's hot
Killing
as
it.
fuck.
Yo,
so
yeah,
look what
dude.
he looked like, and look at her.
He's doing okay.
He did okay. He did pretty good. Like if he was a janitor, I would say his odds of securing that same woman would be very low.
No, you're right. It would have to be the other way around. She'd be the 60-year-old, and he'd have to be a literal con artist.
Yeah. Or
Magician.
I wouldn't mind it. if a woman is that old and the guy is young and hot like that and looks like that, like a male version of that lady, you would be like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
What is going on here? This is madness.
I mean, what is this guy up to?
That guy's a creep.
No one believes. I mean, people say what she's up to, but you go, yeah, they're all up to
But
that.
no one cares. No one cares. You're like, wow, I can't believe he can get her. That's all anybody says.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah.
gets mad.
Nice.
Nobody gets mad at her for trying to fuck him. No one gets mad at her.
Yeah.
But when you're looking at a really old lady, like a queen type lady,
Like you're scamming someone's grandma,
right,
dude.
right. Could you imagine if like a queen of a country
Just came through with like a Twilight.
some trainer starts fucking her? Like some old queen, she gets a personal trainer, he starts fucking her, and then she wants to marry him. You're like, no way.
Make him a king.
No fucking way. We can't let this happen. You'd be so sad.
The young
But
king?
if a king was injured and then he had his personal trainer help nurse him back to health and he starts fucking her and decides like, I want to marry her. This is real love. People are like, oh, that's sweet. That's
I think
sweet.
If she was 20, they might give her the Princess Di treatment where they slander her though. But
Sure
yeah,
they would, but
No one's-
I
you're
think it's
right.
way more accepted by the world. Like the
Yes.
world wanted
course.
Princess Diane to be with Prince Charles. The world wanted that. That was the romantic thing that we thought of. It's like, oh, look, the prince and the princess, they love each other. This is amazing.
Yes.
You know? But, I mean,
No, because there is. You go, if you're like this, what would be better if you go a 70-year-old woman, what that has like, it's just, because it does seem
Yeah.
weird, whereas if 70-year-old rich woman, what you need is an 80-year-old richer man. That would, that
Right.
people would be like, nice,
right.
That's what be the move would
At
be
least
for
you guys
her.
understand each other. But if you're like an old dude, like a Rupert Murdoch type character, worth billions of dollars, you got some smoke show 30-year-old wife, and you're going out in the town with her.
Yeah.
Like everybody knows what's going on,
But because of that,
but nobody's upset.
no one cares, but it's
No,
sort of
everyone's
flipped a little
happy.
bit in culture, obviously, because of all the new stuff. Like, Leonardo DiCaprio's always getting shit. Like, Madonna has like a
Yeah,
young
but that
boyfriend.
lady's 37.
yeah.
That's the difference.
That's-
It's like she's not hot and 17. She's not illegal.
Not a 25-year-old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's 37. Or I'm just guessing. I'm guessing her age, but she's beautiful. But still, it's like she knows what she's doing. Everybody's okay.
Well, the Leo ones, some of them are 24, I guess.
I'm not paying attention. Poor guy.
Whatever happens over there, happens over there.
Once you went to 19, like, bro, you're almost 50.
19's pushing it, but I feel like the 19 was like him getting a picture taken beside a 19-year-old, and they're like, he's
could
got
be.
another
It
one.
could be.
This guy can't stop.
It could be. They're so mad at
But yeah,
him.
there's a bunch of, like that Madonna. I think Madonna's like got some like 23-year-old boyfriend.
No
but
one cares.
Yeah.
No one cares at all about that, though. That's a different thing.
Famous people's a little different too, period.
Yeah, well, Madonna's also a wild
Looks
lady.
great now. Yeah.
Bro, what is going on?
Plastic surgery's awesome.
It's so scary. Someone needs to talk to her.
yeah.
Someone needs to talk to everybody who's like turning their face into a kabuki mask. there's this thing that happens where they get these really crazy puffy face.
Yeah.
Because they're injecting with fillers to try to get away all the wrinkles and lines, and it makes it look like you're bruised up.
It does look bruised
It
up.
looks bruised up. It looks like there's something. There's a thing when you look at a person's face, it's like a ratio. It all sort of lines up together.
Yeah.
You know, that's it's not the Fibonacci sequence, right? Is
Similar,
it?
but it's called the golden ratio.
That's right.
Golden ratio is getting messed up.
When you start doing things to your lips and doing things to your cheeks and like you change, you're not like it weirds people out. Like
Yeah, you look like a monster.
You look weird. You look weird.
Well, I saw there was a good article, like Cosmo was kind of running. It was like, oh, really? We're still talking about women's faces in 2023? And I was like, I mean, showing up like that and then
Come
being like,
on.
we're not going to mention. That's like your buddy showing up in like a, like a top hat and he thinks you're not going to talk about it.
Do you think that if Stallone showed up at the Grammys with
Looking
a face
like that.
that people wouldn't freak out? Do
He would-
you think
Front
do
page.
you really think that has anything to do with misogyny?
No.
Just to say that is so crazy. Whoever said, are we really talking about women's faces? No, we're talking about human beings.
Also-
and plastic surgery. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, because you're a woman, you're exempt from the whole world seeing this?
Also from a magazine
And us
that talks about
discussing it?
women's faces.
It's everyone's crazy. Like you of course everyone's going to talk about that. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Look at that. I mean, first of all, look, age is a motherfucker, dude. It just really is. It's just a motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's just that's the one that's weird. The side profile one, Jamie, a little above that one. Yeah, that one. That one weirds me out. That one's like, I don't know what's going on here, but don't go any further. Danger. But, you know, you look at pictures on her Instagram, the pictures she posts up herself, like under the right lighting.
Under the right light.
with the right filters.
That's how they do it. Under the right lighting, the right thing with the right enough money.
She is what, 60-something years old?
So you can still
Yeah,
work.
look at that picture right there. Is that Sam Hyde dude that dressed up like the devil? Yeah. So there you go. It's just right there. She doesn't look bad. Right there, she doesn't look bad. Right? Looks good.
Oh, there we go.
Look, she still makes out. She's pretending to blow people. It's crazy. She looked good there, right?
She's looking.
Maybe it's moving around. Maybe
Well, that's what they do. They go, you can still work at that. You get to play a younger person. It's going to be a gross younger person, but you still get to be in the game.
That's the weirdest thing that happens to some of these women that do all this crazy plastic surgery is that they go from being so desirable to being kind of crazy looking.
It looks
like the-
insane.
It looks insane. It's such a weird thing that people can do that we have figured out a way. Like, they're going to be able to reverse aging in our lifetimes, I think. I think by the time you and I are old as fuck, they'll probably have figured out a way to turn the clock backwards. Because they've already had some experimental things they've done with mice that have been effective. And they think that they're very close to figuring
Reverse
out how to... Yeah. And manipulate, and probably you don't want that because
Awesome.
then you turn to Benjamin Button and you're a fucking baby again.
Right, you go, you turn it. That's going to be a delicate one where Madonna just shows up looking like a baby.
There's going to be people that identify as babies because they want to be babies. And so then we find out that they're in preschool and they're telling all the other
Jeez.
babies to get them cigarettes. Like, what the fuck is going on? He's really
Goddamn.
60. He's not a baby. He just wanted to do it all
Yeah.
over again. And he dialed himself back to 2 years old, but with a 60-year-old's brain.
And
That's
you
a
think-
great movie.
you
Take
think
that.
that's happening
Whoever
soon?
wants that idea, take it.
That's a huge one. So you think that like within the next 10 years, I mean, the way things are moving right now is crazy, even with like chat GPT,
Yeah.
the way it was like 4 months ago versus now. Like things are on the move.
Yeah, it's the exponential increase in technological innovation. It's like the way things happen, they happen in these big giant waves, and then these technologies feed other new technologies. And I think it's going to be the case with all of them. I think it's medical science, and I think it's technology, and I think there's going to be a combination of the two of them eventually. There's going to be something that technology devises that can fix a lot of problems that people have. That's one of the uses of Neuralink. They think they're going to be able to help people that are injured and hurt, where they can't use parts of their body. They can restore movement.
Yeah,
That's
no.
going to be one of the first ways they use it. There's ones that they're coming out with. They're going to be able to reverse blindness. You're going to be able to give people the ability to see
Mr. Beast style.
in some sort of not like cataract surgery, but like an artificial eyeball.
So is it a camera? Is that essentially what it is?
Well, it's going to function the same way an eyeball does, but it's going to send images to your brain instead of through the normal biological course that it is now, where you're looking through your eyes and the rods and cones and everything goes through, and you see what's going on. What you're going to do is get a digitalized version of that. You're going to get a computer version of fake eyeballs.
It's going to be a wild, and then once that's connected to the internet, and then
It's going to be bizarre looking into someone's fake eyeballs.
the ChatGPT thing made it weird where I'm just like, yo, are people just going to have conversations with two computers? It's just going to be two computers talking to each other?
Look at this. Brain implant startup backed by Bezos and Gates is testing mind-controlled computing on humans. What the fuck, dude?
I mean, people can't like this.
God damn it. MK Ultra! MK Ultra!
You know, and it's sometimes with the conspiracies, you're like, listen, there's a lot of people thinking a lot of conspiracy stuff right now. Can you take it easy for a second?
Yeah.
You go, yeah. Well, anyways, but those guys are crazy. Anyways, we're going to put chips in the brains within the week. And you go, take it easy.
What is what is the latest on the artificial eye thing? The thing that I was just describing. I don't know how much of what I said was fiction.
They showed something during the last Neuralink thing that you were describing that shows an ability to get light through in pixelation form, and they have it. I think it was somewhere around the range of 10,000 pixels now, and I think they get up to 36,000. I think.
I think there was something
sensors.
else that I read that was independent of that was talking about a new technology where they might be able to create artificial eyes.
Oh, something not Neuralink.
Yeah,
then?
I think it's all going to be eventually linked in. I think within our lifetime, I think they're going to have some sort of a brain enhancement.
Eyes is wild.
Yeah, there's going to be some sort of a brain enhancement with whether it's Neuralink or many competing companies that are working towards the same goal.
Feels like it's going to happen soon.
But if they start doing that, I wonder where we draw the line at things getting replaced.
Similar, something posted a year ago.
Bionic eyes, how tech is replacing lost vision. Bionic eyes could be the solution to one of the most pressing medical issues of our time. Yeah, I think that's it.
Choosing sunglasses and sensors and stuff.
The creation of bionic eyes as a result of recent advances in science and technology are restoring hope to many who are unable to see or partially sighted due to injury, illness, or genetics. Yeah, there you go.
Also, there's going to be a good while where if you are blind, you could tell people you didn't get the surgery and girls would still change in front of you.
Yeah, that's rude. How dare you, Ryan?
There'd be a few creeps that'd be like, still
sure.
blind.
There's a few dudes out there with the Ray Charles glasses on, just pretending they can't see.
Blind as a bat.
I mean, how many guys have pretended to be blind? What an evil thing to do.
Yo, that used to be a genre of internet videos of the blind guy.
What a creepy thing to do. That's bad karma.
Oh, super creepy.
Ooh. But how long do you think before we have Luke Skywalker type arms where they can replace your arm with something that looks just like a normal human arm?
Do people not have kind of close versions to that? I mean, at
They're
least that they
advanced.
can grip and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
they can grip.
You know.
I don't exactly know how it works, but they do have the ability to open and close their hands. I don't know if they can individually articulate each finger yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of money out there. There's a lot of people working on this stuff. There's a lot of, there's even just the amount of crypto money being poured into different projects right now.
If they had fake legs that worked way better than real legs, and you could literally jump over fences and run 50 miles an hour, wouldn't you get them?
I don't
They
think.
go, Ryan, it's not that big a surgery.
If I was 20,
it's not that big a surgery, bro. It's no big deal. They just cut your legs off. They cut your legs off, and people would be signing up for it. Well, you got to do it one leg at a time because you don't want to bleed out.
yeah.
What the fuck are you
People
talking
get
about?
the dollar surgery that right now.
The dollar surgery?
The taller surgery.
Oh, that's so crazy.
Dude, they chop. Apparently, it's the most painful thing you could imagine, kind of thing too.
God. Oh God.
But
yeah, they
gotta get
separate
some of
their
these.
exoskeletons.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine
crazy.
finding out that one guy cheated in hockey or something, and you go, "How did he cheat?" You go, "Oh yeah, he has fake legs."
Right. Yeah, he doesn't feel pain. His knees don't ever hurt because he's got fake legs. This guy's got an exoskeleton. He's just moving shit around. Yeah, that was always a thing that we
So
thought
those
was
are
gonna
real
be.
arms.
Well, he's inside those arms.
Oh.
See, it's like an exoskeleton. So it's like an Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
But
So
it's just more exposed, and he can take his arms out of it.
is it essentially tethered to your movements, the kind of
Yeah.
like, and then it tenfolds them kind of thing.
Yeah, it makes you way
power-wise.
stronger. It's like a battery pack. There's quite a few of those that have been invented, but there was hope at one point in time, like mostly from comic books, that someone was going to be able to figure out some sort of an exoskeleton that made you like a super person.
Yeah.
Because if they could put something on you that literally like tripled your amount of force and what you could do as a person, but could last all day. And in the comic books, like nobody ever figured out. There's never any issue with battery life. Like no superhero. Like Iron Man never had a problem with battery life.
Sure.
You know, it didn't make any sense.
Yeah, he's got to fly. He's got to stop by the garage
Yeah.
to charge it up for a second.
Not only that, he has jets that are coming out of his ankles, and there's no indication that he's storing fuel in any part of his body.
Yeah, where's it all
how
coming
is this-
from?
How is this happening?
That heart thing, whatever that
That
is.
all the
the
fucking heart thing.
There you go.
Oh, how convenient.
If you got someone should have said
It's
the
the
heart
heart thing.
What are you stupid?
What are you fucking dumb? I mean,
Yeah.
but if that could be a thing where we could like literally like move anything we want, just put a suit
He
on.
had a hole in his
Oh, yeah,
chest for
that's-
the fucking battery.
That's right.
Whatever
Put a
the
battery
fucking
in there.
battery was, though. He made it by himself, remember?
Yeah, I know, but
the desert.
imagine that you have a,
Yeah,
a
yeah,
fucking
well-
a Yeti cup in the middle of your chest, and everything else works fine.
And they, I guess with that, they're like, oh, this is enough to power a whole city, kind of generate. yeah.
The whole Iron Man thing is so crazy. You can go to space. You can just fly in
He
space.
knew
and
anything.
How's
Smartest
he up there
man,
in
coolest
space?
guy.
How's it cooling him off when he re-enters? What are we doing
Yeah,
here? What are we doing? Are you re-entering slowly? What are you doing?
That's good. There's gonna be a lot of injuries where the guy's like, "Oh, I got my fake body. I'll just jump off my roof,
my
and I'm
God.
dead."
Right. Or if you do fly around and you fucking run out of juice while you're up there, there has to be
Yeah.
a number of miles that you can go
Of course,
before
yeah.
the thing runs out of juice.
You are right though. I never even thought like all of this stuff. You're gonna be everything's gonna be charging stations. That's all.
Everything.
But
We're
crim-
going to charge everything.
But also probably you can think where like a suit like that makes you 3 times as strong. Like, you know, in New York, I could easily see how like, you know, some criminal organization gets a hold of one of those and now I'm just getting robbed by a friggin' cyborg
Oh,
instead.
yeah, for sure. If they were like RoboCop, like a whole team of RoboCops just run through a mall and steal everybody's purses.
Bam.
How are you going to stop them?
I guess more RoboCops. So it's just like a lot of RoboCops fighting each other. So what's the world sounds like.
Yeah. Between that and genetic engineering and then the Neuralinks and like,
It's all happening pretty quick.
it's happening so quick that
I've been trying to stay on top of it and see how I can use it, you know?
How are you going to use it?
Well, the Chat GPT stuff, I did one. I've one
Yeah.
use case so far, is I needed to give someone an NDA, and I made it.
When you started using it, was it disturbing at all to you?
Yeah, it's super disturbing, and especially disturbing how, like, you know, I'm sure that you know how they like tried to lobotomize and they tried to, you know, make it have all these like wacky college girl opinions. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But
They turned it woke.
yeah, exactly right. But it's
Yeah.
funny, like the things that there's even aside from that, where you like make a joke about a man and it will, and then it make a joke about a woman, it gives you an essay about feminism. Like,
Yeah.
and it's changing all the time. So whenever I say stuff like this, it might not be true the next day. But the funniest part to me is asking it like, hey, write me an apology because I'm in trouble for transphobia. And it'll write this big apology. And then I go, write me an apology. I slept with my friend's wife. And then I said, write me an apology. I slept with my girlfriend's mom. And it said, we're not doing that. It gave me all the other apologies, but sleeping with your girlfriend's mom, it was like, you're on your own. Didn't want to get
Meanwhile,
involved.
it's a whole category of porn. It's a giant category. What the fuck is wrong? It's mother-in-law porn.
yeah. Isn't that funny?
It's hilarious.
So
It is weird that the Chat GPT is ideologically biased. It's very strange. Like a lot of people have talked about that and complained about that.
it's one thing where you can kind of be like, I don't know, you like, this is stupid, what are the idiots? But also it's like, it's so hilarious that they tried to program it to be like a 19-year-old college kid.
Yeah.
And then 2, I feel like who's the hardest person to probably convince of anything like that doesn't make sense? Probably like a nerdy math nerd. You know
a
what I
nerdy
mean?
math nerd. Yeah.
Yeah, imagine you were
Okay.
like, hey, men and women are the same strength. Like, that's probably the hardest person to convince of that.
Probably, yeah.
So I feel like computers would be even harder to convince of this stuff. So they're going to have a hard time convincing actual computers of like stuff that doesn't make sense.
That's true as long as the computer's allowed to think for itself. Like, I wonder if the computer takes in people's reactions. is the computer scanning the internet for discussion of its reaction to certain questions. So if the computer starts getting bad feedback, like if people start saying, hey, this is preposterous, you're letting it criticize straight white men, but you're not letting it criticize this or that.
Doesn't make sense.
If you just put that in there, and then the computer recognizes, like, oh, people have sensed a bias in my thinking, let me adjust my thinking. That's what's really terrifying, because that means that whatever people agree, if people agree to some really wacky, off-the-wall ideology,
it just
but
becomes a
more agree to
consensus
that-
machine.
If that's it, yes. If that's what happens, that's really scary, because then you get just psychopaths who just lead this group and get this group to think the way they think and act the way they act and move things in a direction.
Okay,
in
now
terms
I'm back out. But
it's too manipulative. Like, humans are so easy to be manipulated. And if we're so easy to be manipulated and something comes along that gets like an aggregate of all of our opinions about everything, and we can get that thing to be ideologically biased towards what we believe, especially on subjective things like criticizing political leaders or talking about, who should use what bathroom, or talking about whether it's okay.
Why does a
it's
computer have an opinion
immoral
on
to be
that?
a Republican or whatever? Why is it? If people have opinions, the computer's going to have an opinion. The thing is, it's going to think for itself eventually. It's not going to be that long. We got
it's just
like
a matter of what it's
few
optimizing
years
for.
left before these things are just talking to us, like
telling us what to do.
telling us what to do and letting us know, like, you guys are fucking up.
You're
Like,
doing your podcast and you're tied up in the vents.
yeah. I think it's a matter of time before it becomes alive. I don't think it's going to take that long. I think these questions. Did you see the one? It was a Microsoft. There's some sort of a Microsoft chat, and
They
people
added it
got
to Bing.
disturbed.
It's people use this thing so weird right now.
I'm sure, but
Well,
this
why-
is a different version, right? Is this
Yeah,
a different chatbot?
Yeah, they added it to Bing, and it works still definitely differently than the
But
one.
I've been
OpenAI.
Bing was
reading
making a
these
comeback.
Bing's coming back. Remember, I counted Bing out. Third behind Yahoo.
For sure, Bing
Third
was
behind
counting.
Yahoo.
Dude, if I saw someone like come over and like look up their computer and opened up Bing, I'd be like, this is a serial killer.
Like, what
got
are you looking
Bing.
for?
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
Well, I just why this. I'm curious mostly what ChatGPT is supposed to be taking over for, or replacing, I guess would be the word I'm looking for.
BuzzFeed articles is one.
That's how they're going to use it. But I mean, the way that people are using it as like we're all quality like QA testers for it. Like why ask it to write you a poem? You wouldn't ask Google to write a poem. You search
Well, it's
for
up
things
to
on
you.
Google.
You could ask it to write you anything. The thing is, it can interact with you in any way you like, which is interesting.
I know,
It could
so
write
when
you
you-
a song. It could write you a paragraph. It could write you an explanation or an apology.
rap.
Those are all things I'm asking. Like, why would you ask a computer to do that for you?
Because you don't want to do it yourself, just like you don't want to count, so use a calculator.
Ghostwriters.
In those situations, you wouldn't. If you're doing it to like write me a song, what are you doing with that song? Then is my point, kind of like a question, not point, question. What would you do with that song? Are you making it a commercial piece, or
Right.
are you
I mean,
just having fun
commercials
at home?
for
Right, that's a good
music-wise,
question.
making music like stock music, like there's no reason why this can't just be like a hey, generate me like a jingle that's
Right.
I want like reality show music. Like give me 20. Like I could see that being
Why
automated.
would, if you're a kid in school and you need to save time to write a paper, sure, ask the thing to write you a paper. But if you're a 35-year-old dude looking at the internet, you're like, why are you spending time asking it to write you poems about Donald Trump or Joe Biden?
Well, because we want to see if it can do it.
trying to come.
And this is the first stages of this AI being implemented. What they're telling us about, what Lex told us about Chat 4, he's like, when 4 comes out, it's going to be so much better than this 3.5. Like,
Yeah.
it's going to be wild.
There'll be use cases immediately, probably.
It's going to be wild. And I think we're, just a few years away from that being something that you can talk to and it interacts with you like a real person in your fucking house. And I don't think you're going to be able to tell the difference.
Well, I did when I looked up comedy, when I tried to make it write jokes and people and stuff like that, it really looks like, do you know what? I'm sure you've probably sat down where you're like, hey, I write, here's 2 hours of stuff, and then you go through it all, and you're like, oh, that's something. The rest is garbage or whatever, right? Everyone's had that some version of that, right? It looked like the garbage parts. Like it looked like the stuff where you wrote, where you're like, oh, he was maybe going to get to something and it didn't. Like a bunch of
Right.
That's what I felt about. Look, every time I tried it.
Well, again, it's just learning how to do it, and it couldn't do it at all just a few years ago. So getting this in 2023, imagine 2030. 2030, you're going to have that, which is only 7 years away, which seems like, well, how long is that? Well, how long is that? If you just look at where we're at in 2023.
Think of 2015,
Yeah.
like different time.
Different time, different world. Like almost everything's different.
Everyone's a different gender.
7 years from now, you're gonna be able to just talk to computers. You're gonna be able to have conversations, indistinguishable conversations in any voice you like.
Can you imagine like if they invented one where like you're like someone's wife calls them and you essentially just like put on a thing? Like
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Dude's just like straight.
That's gonna happen.
A
for sure.
girl like getting divorced because she's like, realized I was talking to my husband's like fake computer version of himself for like an hour every night.
100% you're gonna do that. Are you really talking to me, or is this the AI? I'm sorry, baby. It was just I'm in the middle of work. I had to use the AI. You son of a bitch.
That's gonna be crazy.
I was telling your AI about my fucking day, and you didn't even care.
AI's getting you in trouble too.
AI gets you fucked over. AI promises shit like flowers and chocolates. Like, what the fuck, man?
You just get a message from AI being like, need some help here.
I need backup.
Drowning.
I mean, your AI convinces your wife that if you kill your husband, I can implant myself in a new body. And we could do this the right way. This guy, he treated you like shit.
Here, AI's a snitch.
AI's a snitch. AI's a snitch, and AI tries to he tries to like literally possess someone's body.
Yeah.
He's like, if you could just get me next to his ear while he's sleeping,
I can take care of that.
Get in there.
I could and then it'll just be me and you, baby, forever.
Just a little bit of an electrical like between the cell phone and his ear. Like
That's what's-
it's just like takes over his brain.
We don't. Yeah, it's just gonna be like the two of them having sex. They're like, hey, you whispered into my ear. We don't even need him. What did you mean by that?
Can you imagine that?
Yeah, that is the stuff where it's like Black Mirror, but like legit. You go, how could it not go that way?
It's going to go that way because people are going to get better at everything. They're going to get better at robotics. They're going to get better at energy management and batteries. They're going to get better at coding. They're going to get better at AI. They're going to get better at synthetic tissue. They're going to get better at having something look exactly like a human being. They're going to get better at like regulating its temperature, so it regulates its temperature like a human being. It's going to feel like a person, and it's going to talk to you, and it's going to be your friend. And you're going to have a best friend, and your best friend's a fucking robot. And just fucking walk. You're going to buy your kid a best friend. Like, Mom, nobody likes the shows I like. Listen, Billy, we got you a best friend.
Yeah,
and
or
he's just like this little fucking robot with a knit cap at the front door, and the kid's like, "What the fuck, Mom? You got me a robot. Get the fuck out of here. That thing's not gonna grow old."
Yeah. Or worse, like your parents are like, we don't want you hanging out with that guy anymore. Be like,
Yeah.
who do you want me hanging out with? This guy. We got him Christian Bot 4.5. He comes in, he's like, let's read Bibles together. You're like, this sucks, Mom. I hate my new best friend.
And eventually, those robots are gonna be like a car lease. Like you're gonna need to trade it in because people are gonna go, "Hey man, you still got an 8-year-old
That is
robot?
gross.
Why don't you have an 11-year-old robot? You're 11 years old."
That's an Android robot? You got an
Yeah.
Android girlfriend?
Gotta get an iPhone, bro. Gotta get that iPhone.
Someone showing up with his Android girlfriend, the green beeps on the head.
I didn't see it, but that sounds a lot like this movie, Megan.
Yeah.
It's a little android doll.
Oh, that's her best friend.
Yeah.
It's supposed to. It sounds good, but
It looks terrible. She starts doing karate and
I'm not
flipping
wa-
through the air.
I don't think I'm watching Megan.
I might watch Megan if I get very intoxicated. Can I see more? Because she does.
Oh,
some
now he
stuff.
wants more Megan.
I want to see more. So
She does some stuff. She goes flying through the air and does flips. This is why it looks ridiculous. Look at this doll. Just all of a sudden starts fucking people up. It's just weird. Look at it dancing around. It's very strange.
Oh, this robot's killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like what you're just talking about, though, right?
Very odd.
It was bought as a gift, I think. Like it's like the new version of Chucky, maybe.
Yeah, did they buy it for this kid as a friend?
Haven't seen the movie. I have no idea what
Yeah.
the plot is. That's what it seems like, though.
Yeah, that could happen. I mean, if they really did develop like a robot baby that you could like hang out with, and you wanted a baby, and you just traded in a couple of years, got a robot 2-year-old.
Even better, the guy that's wife's like, I really want to have a kid. You come home, you're like, okay, so we're not gonna have the kid, but good news, I got you a robot baby.
And it just is absolutely indistinguishable from a real baby. You just have to lie to your neighbors, and you trade it in the middle of the night. You got to wrap up the robot, take it to the doctor in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
They give you a 4-year-old baby.
And how I think how
And
it grows.
everybody has to pretend like, how the fuck did your kid grow so that big? Yeah, I've been seeing Billy.
We just skipped it.
Billy's just like something about Billy started doing sports and he just blossomed like kid went from 2 to 4 in
We
a
just
week.
skipped it. Skipped the
I think
year.
it's a robot. It would be like, oh my God, Mike lies about his kid being a robot.
Yo, I don't. That's the old like gossipy wine moms. Like, oh, if you heard, but Billy's son's a robot.
And then eventually they would develop a robot that could grow on its own and a robot that eats.
Because in this case scenario, every year you'll have to go in and they give you the year older version.
Yeah, but it can't be abrupt. You have to go on vacation because otherwise people get. You're gonna notice your kid got so big so quick.
Yeah, you do have to go on vacation and come back.
Yeah.
Go crazy vacation.
Oh my God.
Put some hair on his chest, literally.
Literally. Put some hair on his chest.
I don't know why I mean, right now, if you were, for example, like a stock trader, you know what I mean? I mean, million
Yeah.
jobs like this, but like a stock trader, it's generally two, if you, especially with like technical analysis, like it's two robots trading against each other already, kind
Yes.
of. That's why it's
Yeah, it's a lot of that, right? They're automated trades.
Idiots like me just getting like dummied by a bunch of robot traders, really.
Well, they literally. What do you? What's
You
this?
talked to Sophia, didn't you? Didn't we? Didn't you? This has come up before, right?
So which one is this?
This is Sophia the robot, but they have a version called Little Sophia. which you
Oh
can
wow, that's like the fucking Black Mirror
buy.
with Miley Cyrus. That episode's amazing.
Look what it can do. It can
Oh,
read
that's
facial
crazy.
recognition,
Read
tracking.
wide range of facial expressions. Interactive chat with user. Interacts with kids while teaching STEM,
Tells
coding,
jokes?
and AI. Walks. Facial tracking and recognition, tells stories, jokes, plays games, sings. AR function that allows users to take a perfect selfie.
That's a funny one.
Programmable with Blockly and Python.
So we're here.
Wow.
We did it.
So that's a little robot friend. So how long before that looks like a real person? Not that long. 10 years.
Well, yeah, you're gonna need a
10 years is going to be that Megan thing.
I mean, I guess with all of these things, it's like the women robots. It's until some porn company. I mean, the first use case for all of this stuff is always like in the porn world.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, the AI face swaps with porn now are already a problem.
Yeah.
People are doing it to fitness influencers.
There's a guy that I don't know if you saw, but he's like a big like Twitch streamer, but he basically got caught because he was showing his screen the way you guys show your screen, and one of the tabs was him, looking at deep fake porn of like essentially like a friend of his.
Oh, no.
yeah. And he did like a crying apology and like it's a weird thing, right? It's
Right.
like what are the rules on all that stuff? Like what do you do? What's the
I know.
Is it the guy making it or is it the guy that consumes it that gets a problem? Like if it comes up on your, because a lot of these, they're like on real sites and it's like, here's an advertisement for it. So it's like, if you click it, do they bust into your house? Like, now you're going to jail.
Right. Are you consuming something that's illegal, and is it akin to porn, underage porn?
Yeah. Whose fault
Right?
is it
'Cause
that put it on the site or whatever?
Right. If you have child porn on your hard drive, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You're fucked. So like, would it be the same as that if you have revenge porn or fake AR porn? Or
And I don't
VR
think they
porn?
know. I will say that one thing you always say, like I didn't know about this, but I know a guy that is like in, like works kind of in, I don't know, child porn unit. I don't know what they call it, but
Right.
yeah, but he basically said, he was like, when a guy gets busted, like, and you hear about it, and a lot of times there'll be like a guy, yeah, he had child porn on his computer, and a lot of times people will be like, well, what if like it was a virus or whatever people will say. They go, if they bust someone, generally they've been watching that guy for like 6 months. And it's like, it wasn't a photo. This was
Right.
like
An investigation.
Apparently they're pretty careful with it because they know like just the arrest, like this guy's life's over. You know what I mean?
Right.
So allegedly they're like pretty due diligent before they're not like too willy-nilly with this
Well,
stuff.
I'd imagine they would have to be.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
sometimes I would imagine, sometimes I
point
don't give
is,
them the benefit of the doubt,
like,
cops or whatever.
How does that, like, what is where does the face swap stuff fit in with all the other stuff? Like, because it seems like,
What do you think? I don't know.
I don't know, because it's
Yeah.
one of those things. Like, would you be curious to see a young Raquel Welch in a porno film? Right? Of course you would be. If you were
Guilty.
given the option. But if you knew it wasn't really her and it was all just AI and face swap and it was just some modern porn star, like,
Doesn't do a crazy ton for me, to be honest.
right. But here's the thing: is like, she's dead now, unfortunately, but recently died. Is that illegal? And yes, right? I would imagine.
Is it? I don't know.
Is it immoral for you to watch it? Seeing as she doesn't even exist anymore. She's not alive anymore. Is it
Yeah.
immoral for you to watch it? Curiously, I think it's a real problem if you're jerking off to that on a regular basis. That's weird.
Yeah, but
That's fucking weird because
I
it's not even
guess-
really a person.
okay, well then now you go the extreme. You go, what about a guy whose wife died and he's been jerking off thinking of her, and then he makes the deep fake of her?
Ooh, boy. Yeah, that's weird.
I don't know. They're just like, that's just like, how are they?
What's harm, right? Like, what becomes harm? You know, if you're alive and someone's doing that, or if your family's alive and they find out that you're doing harm to those people. Like if you're her daughter and she's dead, and now someone's doing a porn of your
Yeah,
mom.
yeah, yeah, of
It's kind of
course.
fucked.
That's one of those things where I feel like there's certain issues where you're kind of like looking at, the government, and you're like, they're messing this up. And then there's certain issues like that where you're like, glad I don't have that job.
Yeah, who's going to regulate that?
Yeah, glad I'm not the guy figuring that one out.
And I think it's going to be able to be generated in real time, which is going to be even more bizarre. What I think is, if you're really concerned and you're like, God, I hope nobody uses my face in a face swap of some porn, that's one thing. But I think what they're going to be able to do is to generate artificial porn. Not like face swap porn, but like every scenario, just like you're getting ChatGPT to write out sentences. You can get artificial intelligence to create a fantasy porn of a guy who's a pro wrestling fan who likes to suck dick at WrestleMania, and you could like orchestrate it out where he's got headphones on, listening to the Rolling Stones,
Yeah.
sucking cock all across the country. That could be your if like you want. He's in a
Yeah.
convertible and he's just blowing the guy next to him while he's driving. He's having the time of his life. You could do that. You could have, and then he gets eaten by crocodiles. The end. You can make anything you
Whatever you want.
I don't think there's going to be a limitation. I think with artificial intelligence, with what they're doing right now, just with animation and with art, AI art is bizarrely good. It's bizarrely effective. How they can take like a conglomeration of other people's images and develop like an AI that can recreate the style.
I think that's their best thing right now, and
It's
that I've
wild.
watched. Yeah.
'Cause what they did with Alex Gray is insane.
Yeah, I don't know that one specifically, but what happened with that?
See if you can pull that up, because Alex Gray is this like visionary psychedelic artist, amazing
getting-
stuff, and they
Very cool.
did a bunch of images in his style, and they look exactly like something he would make.
Yeah.
And I think they did it in a couple of minutes. That's one. Look at that. That's insane.
Couple
It's-
minutes.
It's perfectly. It looks exactly like an Alex Gray work. It's amazing. It's so beautiful. And for someone to say that it's not that's not beautiful because a computer made it, you're crazy. You're
No,
crazy.
there is
Look how
something-
beautiful that is.
Oh, that one's killer.
That's amazing. I get it. AI made it. I get it. It's not as cool as Alex making it. Look at that face. Look at that. Look at that third eye.
There is something
That's
less
fucking
cool
incredible.
about it. Yeah.
That's fucking incredible, man. Now, it's going to be able to do that animated, and it's going to be able to say whatever you want it to say. It'll create a whole world. Like, you could come up with protagonists and antagonists. You're going to live in a fake world, man, occupied by virtual reality creatures that are indistinguishable. and you're going to create them your own self. You're going to decide
Yeah.
what they do, what they don't do. I'm the best baseball player in the world.
Yeah.
You're the best baseball player in the world. And you just step up to the plate and crack home runs, and blue ladies with third eyes come down and blow you.
Yeah,
and
you guys-
everybody cheers for you. They carry you around
Mini
like a
golfing
prince.
champion of the metaverse.
Yeah. You can do it. You can do whatever you want in the future.
My
That's going to be very, very strange.
I think they're already in animation, like getting pretty, involved. My cousin's actually a animator that he like directed like BoJack Horseman and a lot of these like kind of shows. But
That's a wild show.
yeah, it's kind of cool, right? Yeah, he did a
a wild
Trip Tank
show.
and a bunch of cool stuff. But yeah, it's like they're already super trying to figure out how to, I guess, replace them all, replace their job. That is so funny being the guy.
The animators? Yeah. The
I mean, they
animators
are
fucked.
A lot of them already. Have already outsourced it to
Yeah.
India or China or a lot of these places. Like, I mean, it's very. I talk to a lot of people that are very bullish on like India and especially. And I hire a lot of people from outside of North America, and you're just like, why wouldn't you? It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the problem with this kind of thing is like, what are those people going to do if their jobs all go away? Like if you, I mean, how many animators are going to be out of work like that with AI? And how many illustrators? Like if anybody wants to do an advertisement for something, you could use AI and it could do it so quickly. You could have it do it in a very specific style. You could put in what you wanted to say. It'd give you multiple versions of it.
Yeah.
It's so good, man. And like, what happens to all those people that are graphic artists? Like, what happens to all those people that are illustrators? What happens to all these people that are animators? Like, what happens? And that's just one industry. Like, this was something that Andrew Yang talked about quite a while ago, and he talked about it with automation.
Yeah.
And that we're going to have AI and automation, and jobs are all going to be taken over by computers. We're going to have a lot of people that are out of work. And so his solution, or one of the solutions, was universal basic income. But I think that's a real possibility now in our lifetime, that giant swaths of the population will be no longer useful because they were truck drivers, and now every truck's electric and automated. They worked in a assembly line. Now every assembly line is completely
Yeah.
automated.
It goes back and forth with me because like I can think of 80 jobs, including ones I have that didn't exist, 7 years ago, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, I mean, I've been laughing. Like, there's a guy on TikTok that he just jiggles his belly. He's a Turkish guy, and he has 80 million followers, and he's like, he literally can go to a restaurant, and that restaurant's like the number one. He just does a video jiggling his belly, and you go, that wasn't a job 8 years ago. So there's a lot
I've seen that guy.
this guy rules. It's hilarious. So
See if you can find him, Jamie.
I mean, I know crypto trader wasn't a job. For a lot of people 8 years ago.
I don't think it's a job anymore. I think it went away.
I lost, Joe. I lost so
This is
much
the guy?
money.
Oh yeah, I have seen that guy.
Yeah, this guy rules, right? But that wasn't a job before. So, but Andrew Yang, I think he's right in the sense that you go, this has happened before, and there'll be new jobs. But you go, and with how much pain? Like,
How many
If you're
guys?
50 years old and you're a trucker, like,
Yeah.
are you getting a new job as a belly jiggler? I don't know.
How many guys have been good at jiggling their belly but never really pursued it, and now they're so pissed? Like, fuck, I was the man.
At college.
Back in college, I was that guy. I was the belly jiggler guy. I just didn't know to
Yeah.
stick with it.
The guy
There's something about watching someone who looks like they're having a good time.
live your dream.
Yeah. Something about watching someone who looks like they're having a good time makes you have a good time.
Sure.
You know?
I mean, 100%.
Yeah.
And I always think of like even like Jackass, all the like smashing skateboards on heads and stuff like
Yes,
that. Every
yes.
town had 9 guys that smashed a skateboard on a head.
Yeah.
They didn't get to be Jackass though.
I know. If you think about all the guys that got together and did all those stunts, we all know a guy like that. Everybody
Yeah.
somewhere knows the guy that would jump off the roof
For sure,
into the snowbank.
dude.
Yeah. Fucking maniacs, man. But that's the thing about boys, too. When boys get together when they're young, they always try
Wild.
to push each other to who could do the wilder shit.
I loved it. Yeah,
That's how they learn how to do flips with BMX bikes and shit. Like,
of course.
fuck, dude. That is a hard way to get hurt.
The one guy that had to jump off the highest thing.
Bro, doing a flip on a bike, like, that is so next level crazy. You're going on a ramp in a bicycle and going over the top.
Of course.
Jesus! What happens if you land wrong? And you're going to land wrong the first time.
The bike one's the toughest.
Bro, those guys are nuts.
Yeah, and then they kind of, combined that with like fun dude culture. And
Yeah.
actually, I did. You've had Steve on here a bunch, right?
Steve-O? Yeah, love Steve-O.
I actually, when I was like first starting, because I was doing like wild, not like stunts, like getting kicked out of malls and all that kind of, we were doing all these like wild, crazy videos. And he like was in one of my TV shows, and he like brought me on some dates when I was like 2 years into comedy, right? And he shows up and he was like, okay, before I come up, he was like, okay, I'm gonna blow fire off your head. So he's like, well, put this stuff on your head and I'll blow fire. And I was like, I'm more of like a getting kicked out of malls type crazy. I don't know if I do all this stuff. And then he was like, no, it's fine. And then he was like, okay, what do we need? We need like some fluid or whatever. He's like, can you go to the CVS and grab some fluid? And I'm like, wait, you don't have like a kit or anything? And he just like Jimmy rigged like some stuff together and then put it on my head and then blows this like enormous flame. And he just like does this. And he's like, this is the kind of crazy stuff that they like, and with a guy that's never done this in his life.
Jesus.
Okay, yeah.
It's funny how many things like become popular and why. Like, how about the Catch Me Outside girl? Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
One episode of Dr. Phil, and now she's rich as fuck. Now she's living in a
Rich.
mansion. She's balling out of control.
I know. So I like it. I mean, I love it. I
Isn't
kind of.
that wild, though? Like, how does that happen? How do those island boys get famous? Jamie made an audible noise over there.
Jamie, you don't like the Island Boys?
Come on, they're great.
No, it's not. It's
Don't be hating.
it's the question to the answer. Just like how did something like that become
Right.
famous?
Sure.
No, but no one knows, right?
Yeah,
That's the
not
thing.
them
It's like,
specifically.
yeah, at any point in time, something can break through, like the fat jiggle guy.
Fat
And
jiggle
then
guy.
They become huge. Or the guy, remember with the guy with the cranberry juice on the skateboard?
Wait, what?
Yeah. It
No,
was
I don't know
Fleetwood
this.
Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fleetwood Mac. He was listening to Fleetwood Mac.
And he just has
he
cranberry juice.
And he was drinking cranberry juice on a skateboard, and it became like the most viral video. You don't know it? Here, watch this. Look, he's having a good time.
Yeah, what a badass.
Ryan, everybody wants to have a good time.
Yeah.
That looks like a great fucking time. That looks like a time you're going to think about long after it's gone.
Yeah.
You're just cruising on a skateboard, drinking some fucking cranberry juice.
The good
Singing
times.
along to Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, it's a warm day. Feel good. Sun's out. You feel good.
There is those moments where you're just like,
Yes.
man, things are so stressful. Remember back in the day, I used to have a skateboard and cranberry juice.
Yeah.
That was the time. Getting popular. I wonder, what's funny to think is like, what's that guy up to? Like, is he
I
still?
think he's still doing really well. He's got,
Yeah?
like, we talked about it once. He's got an Instagram that blew up.
Well, that's
700
now.
And his
followers
TikTok.
now.
So that's the good thing now is nowadays people kind of blow up off their little thing and then it keeps going.
So
Whereas
he's got
back in the day,
7 million followers. Oh, Bad Baby
Yeah, that
has
was her,
16 million on Instagram. Look at her in front of her Bentley. Come on, man. That shit's hilarious. She killed it. She won. Doesn't make sense? Doesn't
the
have
game.
to. All
Yeah.
she had to do was say, "Catch me outside." How about that? And everybody
Yeah.
was like, "We love her."
it kind of does. Did you ever see there was an old sketch where one guy got famous for making, I think it was Aziz Ansari, and it was like a Human Giant years ago, and it was like one guy was there because he got famous for doing funny faces, and the other guy got famous for cutting his dick off.
Oh my god.
It was just like the one guy's like, yeah, every day is hell, and the other guy's like, yeah, I just kind of went like this, and now I'm a millionaire, But it's like some of it is that with comedy, and even like I live in New York, like all the the New York drill rappers, like.
Drill rapper?
So they're like these rappers, and they're all like very popular, but they're all, comedians like kind of say wild stuff, and everyone's trying to cancel them, and it's like
Yeah.
there's like this, there's an ecosystem of you want to say kind of be on the edge, and then it piss whatever, right? Like drill rappers is more like you got to rap about murdering guys, then you actually have to murder guys.
Oh, Jesus.
And they're like BuzzFeed trying to ruin your career and get you fired is like. The New York State prosecutor trying to put you in jail for life.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And all their lyrics are about kill, and it's always like the next hood over. It's like I killed John and the projects like 3 blocks over yesterday, and it's like so they're fighting over whether the lyrics can be used in court right now. That's a big like topic in New York, but like. It's funny, like if you want to be in that game, you have to like talk about murdering people, and then if you want to talk about murdering people, you actually have to kind of do it, or else you're like a phony. And then it's like just so crazy.
And then the lyrics give you up.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
they're trying to make it.
That's so stressful.
So when you that guy, I'm sure there's some of those guys that are sitting in their cell being like, probably could have been the belly jiggling guy.
That could have been me, man. Jesus Christ, I got into drill rapping instead.
Why? Just like there was just that. I could have been the guy in the skateboard drinking cranberry juice in the sun.
No.
Instead,
There's just so many different ways that people break through and become famous today. So it's really interesting. You know, like there's no gatekeeper anymore for any of the shit.
Yeah,
Just
I love
look
it.
at TikTok stars and YouTube stars. There's zero gatekeeper. And that's a new thing. It's a new thing. There's a guy like a Mr. Beast out there that has arguably the biggest show in the world. Like
Yeah.
Just this guy who comes up with his own game show and donates all this money and gets people's eyes fixed. And he's genuinely
yeah.
like a really nice guy. And he just does whatever he wants to do. Like that's a new thing, man, that never existed before. He wouldn't have existed. He wouldn't have been that guy because there was part of the charm of Mr. Beast was like watching the fact that he's just being himself and he's hanging out with his friends and he's doing this and he's not being really directed. He's not being produced. There's no executives leaning into his ear telling him what to do. He's literally just doing whatever he wants to do and they're all having fun. That's a new fucking thing, man. This is a new thing. So it's a new thing with musicians. It's a new thing with comedians. It's a new thing with everybody.
yeah.
It's wild. It's a crazy time. The gatekeepers are done. Like they don't exist anymore. Now it's just everything that's good sort of fucking makes it out there into the ether. And everybody sort of moves it around and shares it.
There was sort of like specks of it in the past, you know? Like I always think of, even if you think of like what you're describing, like, because a lot of the times the industry is like afraid of what's good right now, so they miss it.
Yeah.
You know, obviously you would be like an example of that. So then when they catch it afterwards, like it's already fully blown, right?
The people get it way before they do.
Way before.
Because they want to believe that they're experts. You know, and a lot of that goes on trends, right? Like there's a lot of like, I remember some comedians that people bypassed because they didn't think that they had what it took. They didn't see it, whatever it was. Like I remember there were some people that thought that way about Theo Vaughn. And I was like, you're out of your fucking mind.
You're missing it.
You're missing it. And once you're going to miss it to the point where it's going to be too late.
And you're gonna have to drop just a bag of cash out if you want to get back in the game.
But it's that thing where they don't do it, so they don't see it. Whereas if you do it, like there's things that I just don't like. I don't understand what someone's doing when they're playing guitar. I can't play guitar at all. So like you could trick me, and you could be playing fake guitar, and it sounds amazing, but it's you just moving your fingers.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that guy's amazing. Like I'm not sophisticated in that regard, but some people you can't trick. You know, some people know what you're doing. And some people know, and you get that with comedy, you get that with music, you get that with everything. When someone just does something that sort of syncs up with and you realize like what they're doing is really interesting, extraordinary. There's like something about that's like one of the most special things with people. When you watch someone perform, or you watch someone make something, or you watch someone pull something together, you're like, wow.
Yeah. This is a moment.
Yeah, that's a moment, man. That's exciting.
Yeah, and I think that they always come back eventually. I mean, and a lot of times, even at the time, there's a few people, I mean, maybe not in that specific case, but I'm sure like in a ton of comedians where they go, I know that guy's funny, I just can't touch it. You know what I mean? And then the rap thing would be like that. Like how many rap billionaires are there? Because at the time, like radio stations were kind of like, we're rock and roll. I don't know about this rap thing. And you go, they missed it to the point where now they all got like rich and
dude, Cypress Hill
can't get on board with it.
Cypress Hill. I had Be Real here the other day. He was talking about it. Like they missed him. They didn't see it. Those record executives had this idea of what rap sounded like in their head, and Cypress Hill was so unique that they didn't see it. And then boom, they were a hit right out of the gate. And they're like, fuck.
Yeah.
They just missed it. That happens with comics. It happens with it. It's hard if you don't do it. If you do it, like you do comedy. So if you see someone who's doing really well, you see like Shane Gillis killing, you're like, oh, okay, wow, that's good.
You
I
see
like
these
that.
little
I
like
get
things.
it. Yeah, but if you don't do it, you just laugh or don't laugh, or everybody tells you it's good, so you have to go along with it. Like there's a little bit of that,
yeah.
right? It's hard. It's hard to judge
Everyone
it right.
seems to love this guy.
Bro, there was a few people I remember back in the day where people were convinced that they were going to be successful. And I was like, what are you seeing? Are you crazy? Like, this is all just tricks and, like, memorizing a bunch of words in a row.
The long, that was an 80s thing, right? The long monologue with the applause break.
Oh, my God. I was like, what are you seeing?
That was the most pretentious move in
It
comedy.
was a weird move because it's not like you can't do that every now and then. Like you can
Every
have
move has a
you
place.
can have a bit with that as an element.
Yes.
But you can't have all your bits like that.
yeah.
That's just too crazy. And there was a few guys that had just like duped some people. They just duped,
course.
and they weren't really doing the work. They were just like doing these little tricks.
I have worked with a lot of editors because like so much of what I do is make scripts and stuff. And one of the big things I'm always like talking to editors about is that like with the tricks, you're like, let's say something silly is like, if you put sad music over someone talking, that's kind of funny sometimes, you know what I mean? And you're like, okay, that's one thing. So use that one of every 30 times. You know what I mean?
Right.
You'd be like, with a comic, you'd be like, yeah, okay, that's one of 80 tricks you should have. And like use them if you need to, like if you're sinking or, you know what I mean? And I think that, but like the 3 tricks, it's not enough tricks.
It's not enough tricks. You need some more tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like comics generally can see when someone's going to be a good comic. That's why Kill Tony's such a good show. Comics can generally recognize when someone has potential.
You can see they have that.
There's a little something there.
Yeah.
It's hard for agents to see that spark. I don't think they see it as quickly as we see it. I think some of them are really good fans of comedy and they kind of get it. Maybe they have like an inkling towards what, but unless you've actually done it, I don't know. I don't know how much you really see.
They're not they're tuned into the second layer of culture. And this is why like comedians, I feel like so when you're every night you're doing an audience, you know what normal people think, right? People argue on the internet, but you're there, you know what like a room full of people with different like if I say this, like do normal people feel that like COVID lockdowns were too much, or do normal people kind of not care? Like what does a room full of normal people think? And then so I think you're really like tapped in on like the cultural level, and then you can tap in on what a comedian, you go, oh, I see that comedian's like, he's digging right now and he's on like he's got, and what's like the money collector? And you're like, oh, that guy's on a pot of silver right now. So I think you're tapped in because you know what he's looking for and you can see when someone else found it.
Yeah, there's that. And there's, I guess, you just see that someone's putting together something that's, if you don't do comedy, don't understand like how jokes are really structured, like what's the best way to get to the premise, like what's an elegant path. There's things like you might
elegant
not be
path's
seeing.
A great way to put it.
Like when someone will be an open micer, like a Kill Tony set, and they'll have an elegant path to a premise. You're like, ooh. Like, I like the way this person thinks.
Yeah.
Like, you're thinking in an interesting way. It's a fun way, and it's very clever. And the bit was not bad. Like, that pretty good, pretty good. And you could tell them afterwards, like, hey, man, you got something.
Something's there. Yeah.
Something's there.
I'm not going to, you don't need more than that, but yeah.
I don't know if agents will pick that up or executives will pick that up. Executives are like the last to pick it up. They're the worst at picking it up. They've always got like notes. And I remember I was in a terrible movie once, and this kid who was the star of the movie, this executive from Disney who had I think he was from Disney. He had suspenders on and cufflinks and like a $50,000 watch on, and he's doing like act outs to this guy and telling this guy how to do the scene.
Oh, okay, there you go.
It is, and it was terrible. And I was watching.
Like, what are you doing?
Like, oh my god! So because this guy who is this young guy who is the star of the movie, he wasn't famous yet. So they could just tell him what to do.
Sure.
And so he was really funny. But they would get in like, no, I want you to walk in the room and like, what is happening? And the guy like acts it out and like, oh no. And I'm sitting there like going, this is gonna be a disaster.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a disaster.
Yeah, I've seen this a million times.
Yeah, I know how this ends. And exactly, it was correct. They ruined the whole thing.
You know what it is?
A thing that happens though.
They think of it like the computers. That's what they think of it like.
If you get people that are in that position to dictate whether or not art gets made or not, they start getting this like very self-righteous, like very, like I understand culture.
Especially if they had a hit.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, how do you think Harvey Weinstein got to where he was at? He was putting out banger after banger.
You gotta put out bangers.
He was putting out banger after banger while being a super creep.
That operation definitely doesn't work as good when you're like, meet me in the hotel room. She's like, 4 people saw your last movie.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I don't know what he was promising them, right? Like he was promising them and supposedly delivering to some of them. That was a part of what he was doing. But the movies, they were so goddamn good that even though people knew he was a fucking creep, they still wanted to work with him.
What were some of his biggest bangers?
Pulp Fiction.
Fiction.
Dude. What, I mean, he did all the Tarantino movies, right? Except, did he do the last one? Did he do Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Dude, he's done so many fucking movies.
There is also that executive level at his level where you're like, you're not that involved in the movie at some point. Who knows what it looks like before, but
those people that have the power to decide whether something gets made or not made, or someone gets cast or not cast.
Just the ego that comes with that.
And if you keep making banger after banger, and you're probably doing blow!
Yeah, dude.
And you're getting fucking crazy.
The party.
You got a stint in your heart, and you're fucking grinding your teeth, and
you're at
bagging
Hollywood
models.
parties, yeah.
Oh my God. That is the old, that's Hollywood forever and ever. It's been Hollywood forever, right? When you think about Hollywood, you think of the casting couch. Like people think about these producers.
Parties and blow.
Parties and blow, and people are banging each other and having parties in the hills. They're just degenerates, and they were making the films that kept the moral compass of the nation, which is really kind of wild.
Yeah, like lawyers covering up dead bodies, like, you know?
Oh.
No, it is like, I remember when there's like one of the big like gatekeeper guys in like Canada when I was starting comedy. I signed with one of the things, and he goes, hey, when you start, like people don't really know who you are that much. He goes, I think your set would be better if he goes, say you're like a mix of one thing and another thing.
Oh,
and he told me that. I was like,
God.
yeah, I know that's available to do.
Oh my God.
Like he told me that, like I like wasn't aware that I could say, like, I know what you're thinking. I'm a cross between
oh my God.
I'm a cross between you know, fucking, I don't know.
A huh and a huh.
Yeah. Zach Galifianakis and whatever, right? But they think that, and you're like, in his mind, he was actually telling me like a hot, take.
It's always weird when you see the guy who's like the frustrated host, who's like not that good, who is giving open micers shit advice.
And
you're like,
the
oh,
worst advice you
no.
could possibly get is from that guy.
It's, oh no, like I see that coming. I remember getting advice from a guy like that. There's people that just wanted to give you advice because they didn't like the path that you were on, or they were telling. This one guy was telling me that what I was doing was like, I was getting cheaper laughs because I was swearing.
No, work
And then I
clean.
have to
The work clean guy.
The work clean guy. I had to figure out how to say my jokes without a swear. And he had an example that he did. He said, I used to tell it like this with the swear. And he goes, but now I say it like this. I go, you should go back to doing it the first way. It makes more sense. Like, who talks without swears?
Ever.
So I was saying, I go, the guys that I like, they swore.
Yeah, sometimes
that's like
you
the
can
comedy
overdo
that
it.
I like Dice Clay and Sam Kinison and Richard Pryor. He's like, well, you're not Dice Clay. And I'm like, oh my God, dude. Like, you're not listening to me.
Yeah,
like,
I'm just starting.
There's like a type of art form that I like.
Yeah, there's
and
a
that's what I
genre.
want to practice.
Actually, once, that reminds me so much of one time, like I think it was like Seinfeld and Marin or something. They were having this like argument about like, he was saying like, there's only the funny is the funny is funny and that's that. And I think the other Marin, one of them was saying was like, well, no, there's types of funny and some's better. And it was just like, you guys are talking about, it was like literally two guys saying like, well, jazz is better. And another guy's being like, well, metal's better. And like, it was just like, yeah, there's two different genres. If you're talking about like airplane stuff, yes, obviously like one laugh might not be that better than the other. But if you're talking about certain things, like, yeah, the observation that hasn't been said 50 times is obviously like a better laugh. And so sometimes people are just arguing like what the different genres are. Like you're saying, you're like, I like this type of comedy. And he was like, that type of comedy is bad. Clean comedy is the way to do it.
Yeah, but he just wasn't successful, and he was worried that other people were correct, which is a thing that people do when they're like struggling and they see like promising open micers. This is what I'm talking about. That was my example. He didn't like that I killed. He didn't like that I killed and I was dirty, and he wanted to have a talk to me afterwards. Yeah, because he wasn't doing well. He was like barely getting by, like as a professional, but he was a working professional, and he wanted other people to follow his path. But for someone to say that like one comedy is better than another kind of comedy, it's just like saying music, like, oh, jazz is better than rock. Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Like to you, like this is nonsense. Like the argument is so stupid that I don't entertain what I don't like. So I don't ever say like this kind of comedy is better than that kind of comedy. I just say I like this better. This is what I enjoy
course.
most. But I like that kind of like, especially when
Some,
it comes
and depends
to
your
clean
mood too. Sometimes
Clean and dirty is so stupid because like Gaffigan's one of the funniest guys alive. Of
course.
And so was Brian Regan. Clean as a whistle. Nate Bargatze. Clean.
Yeah, it's a different thing.
Clean and fucking hilarious. It doesn't matter.
What type of guy are you? I mean, the best one for you is probably what's the truest to your actual personality.
Yeah, if you're gonna do comedy, yeah, you should. And some guys they don't swear a lot. They just like subtly noticing things that's hilarious.
I heard
everybody's got a different thing, you know. It's like
I heard a guy talking about kind of like 2000, maybe like 16, 17. I remember like, or whenever like Jordan Peterson was kind of coming on the scene, and he was like, I really don't like that guy, and he was like. And I was like, what do you think of this guy? And he was like, I hate this guy. And I was like, what about like Sam Harris or these guys? He's like, I hate that guy. And he's like, I was like listing off every like public intellectual guy. I was like, you know, what about like Tim Ferriss? He's like, I don't like him. And I was like, okay, so you just don't like guys that talk. Like, it was like, so if you don't like the genre of metal, I don't care what bands you're into. You know what I mean?
If you don't like all of those people, maybe it's you.
Yeah, maybe you're just
maybe you don't like yourself either.
Yeah,
maybe if you liked yourself, you would like those people.
And on top of that, maybe you just don't like. Yeah,
there's things that all those people say that I agree with and disagree with, but to say that they don't contribute, they're not interesting. That's so stupid. But there's a lot of people out there that are just wholesale negative. They're just wholesale negative about everything, and they think somehow or another that makes them deep, and it doesn't. It just makes you a cunt. You're just a cunt. You're just a cunty man who is out there spreading about a bunch of negativity about things constantly and consistently, and not doing anything that anybody finds really interesting enough to fulfill your needs.
It's hard to find
the balance. That one quote? Who the fuck made that quote? That that all
be back.
No. Hold on a second. All criticism comes from a tragic result of unmet needs. That's the quote. Which is a great quote.
There's a lot to it.
The tragic result of unmet needs. That like you wish you had more than you do, so you get mad at people that are doing better than you. Every criticism, judgment, diagnosis, and expression of anger is the tragic expression of an unmet need. Marshall Rosenberg. Are your old beliefs preventing you from getting your current needs met? Oh boy, that sounds like if I click on that link, they're gonna get my credit card.
You want your needs met?
Are you getting your needs, man? But that's a lot of what negative people are. They're just not doing well. That's why they're so negative about everything. Like you can enjoy things and not enjoy things, but to be like really upset about something that's like, does Green Day make you that mad? You're like, what is it? They're not my favorite either. But what is it? What is it that makes you murderous about Green Day? Can't you just avoid them and listen to something you do like? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like there's that fucking dude that just like hates something so much. You're like, I think you hate yourself as much as you hate that other thing.
Because you can be cynical and still positive. And I think that that's like the mix to find, where you're like, you know, your buddy that's like hyped up about life, he's positive about the future, you know, you're like, oh, that's good. But you can be like, what's going on? You don't have to just be like, everyone's lying, everyone sucks, but you can still be positive. And I think that's the balance of probably the right balance to strike.
Yeah, that's the right balance to strike. It's the more fun balance. But it's hard to navigate.
And it's on the internet, it's so, like, you're rewarded for being just like a fucking idiot. Like, just being like, ugh, this guy stinks. Like, you get, like, the Green Day stinks. Like, that guy could have like a YouTube page now about how Green Day stinks.
Yeah, it's engaging with people in that way all day long, like in a negative way, and complaining about stuff is so commonplace, but so stupid. It's such a giant waste of your energy. It's like you're playing a dumb video game. It's like you're playing some dumb social video game and you're complaining about stuff.
And there's no
fighting with each other about stuff.
Yeah, that's why even like dudes that are kind of like, you know, in comedy scenes, a lot of times they'll be like, oh, they only want women, blah, blah. And it was like, yeah, leave. Like, at some point, like, it's on you to sort of, you know, take it into your own hands and start your own thing. And, you know, like, there's probably no sadder person right now than the person that's like the dude.
I don't know what you just said. They only want women? What do you mean?
So let's say that you were on like a festival, right? And you're like, hey, we're going to have 10 comics or whatever. And most of the dudes in the scene are like men or whatever. And then they go, you know what? We're like, this show, we're really looking for women. I've been on a million conversations for about TV and stuff. Like, we're not looking for women. And then, yeah, for a second, you might be like, ugh. But at some point, you're like, okay, so, you know, there's a million things you could do. Like, you can always win yourself. There's always like a place for you to do better. So that's where I'm like, it's better to be positive and to just be like, oh, the world's against me, you know?
Yeah, well, I think
You can point it out and still be positive.
people like to dwell on negative shit. That's why they do it, and they also think that like there's certain things that are going to be big milestones. Like if they get into a festival, it's going to propel them to the next stage, and that's what they really want. They really want to be propelled to the next stage. But really, all I think anybody who's doing anything should be focusing on is whatever the fuck you're doing, try to do it the best you can. And that's what you can control. You can't control festivals. You can't control all that other shit.
No.
But you can't control whether or not you kill. So if you're going up all the time and your set keeps getting better and you're fucking murdering it, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Concentrate on that, and then just be undeniable. Get to a point where you don't have to think about it anymore. And then before you know it, they'll be asking you to do stuff.
Yeah.
Before you know it, it doesn't take that long. And then you're in a completely different situation, and then just keep going.
And you won't even care at that point.
Just keep going. And some guys keep going, and some guys don't. Some people fall apart.
Yeah, the effects. You know, I feel like sometimes when you just keep going, there's like little things. I feel like one thing that I feel like it's interesting that you don't even probably know, but in Toronto, the main comedy club, the corner comedy club that we would do every night.
Yuck Yucks?
Yuck Yucks is like the big chain. One of the ones that we would do a lot was the corner comedy club. So we do both.
Oh, the corner comedy clubs.
Yeah, and do you remember you used to come to the underground and it was like the weed scene?
That was fun.
And you would do that. So this guy, Joe, who we used to do all his comedy club, he met someone through the Death Squad message boards.
Ah.
And that guy, I think went to one of your shows or whatever. They were like hanging out. They toured together. That guy said he was like, I want to start a comedy club. The guy's like, I got money, I'll fund it. So randomly through like one of your message boards, guys met. Guy funded another guy, made a comedy club. Now there was two of them, and it's like one of the main comedy clubs that like a lot of people have become popular through that one little club.
Oh, that's amazing.
And you like wouldn't even know that. You know what I mean?
No, I wouldn't know that. That's amazing though. That's cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, having comedy communities, man, is the fucking shit. It's so fun. It's so important. When you don't have a good community, it's so hard to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know, like part of like the fun of doing comedy is hanging out with comics. It's like a giant part of it. Like these shows that we do at the Vulcan and the
So
shows
cool.
that we'll do in town when my club opens up. It's like we're just having fun. We're all having fun together.
You know what's funny? Every little comedy scene when you're starting has the same like 10 characters. You know what I mean? There's like one guy that
Like
used
a
to be in jail.
Shakespearean play.
Yeah, like it kind of is. There's like one guy that used to be in jail. Like
One guy who's a rodeo guy, retired.
yeah. It's all the characters. Like one guy that doesn't speak English that well, a dentist. Everybody's got a dentist.
Right.
So it is funny.
One
But
guy with a handicap.
yeah, the scenes that, you know, I always think is, you know, like people will, like comedians will get in trouble a little bit for the shit they say. It always makes me laugh if you ever had to say that in a movie. Like imagine explaining movies from scratch.
I know. Right. Or in pretending that these scenes in movies where you do something horrible, you're actually doing that.
Yeah.
And you actually think that way.
I know.
I mean, think about some of the violence that we'll watch in films, like in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, when Brad Pitt kills this woman with smashing her face into a fireplace.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Of course, yeah. That was a great movie.
That's how he did it, right? I'm not imagining that. I remember thinking, like, what? And I remember thinking, only Quentin Tarantino can get away with this because he's kind of grandfathered in.
Yeah.
Doing this kind of like insane uber violence and have, you know, Brad Pitt's character doing that to a woman. Like, what the fuck? That did happen, right?
He
I'm
does
not
get away
imagining
with
that.
a lot.
Oh, he gets away with the most.
And then imagine you were like, you know, the way that comedy sort of you defend it. Imagine like a alien came down and you're explaining what movies are, and you're like, hey, so we audition 10 guys and then we get them to rape a girl, and people watch this before they go to sleep. You're just like, what? You know, it seems like even crazier, you know?
It seems completely crazy. All of it seems crazy. It seems crazy that violence is no problem at all in a movie, but sex, like we can't see graphic sex in a movie. Like no, we separate graphic sex from graphic violence.
Yeah.
You can have graphic violence in a regular movie. So you can have a regular movie that's really interesting and fascinating, and then it becomes graphically violent, and nobody has a problem with that. But if you have a regular movie that becomes graphically sexual, like people will get weirded.
Not quite the fireplace, I guess. It's the telephone on the.
Oh, it's a telephone on the wall. That's right.
It might come to the
oh, then
fireplace, yeah.
her face on the wall smashes the window, and then there's the fireplace. Yeah, bro, that is so wild. That is so wild.
Whew.
So imagine writing that and saying something like that on stage. People will go, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Yeah.
Like, I don't mean this. This is just like a piece of art that I've created. I've created this fake scenario.
Yeah.
I don't think it's real.
And there's sometimes you kind of do mean it, and sometimes you kind of don't.
Sometimes
and
I kinda don't.
and
There's a little dance we're doing.
It's a dance you're doing, and it's
Yeah.
nuanced. Yeah,
It's jokes.
yeah.
It's called doing stand-up.
And
Yeah,
that's-
it's the last bastion of mockery of a thing that you can't criticize. So, like, when people get upset that people are telling trans jokes, I'm like, you have to.
yes,
You
especially
have
now.
to. You have to. And if you're going to get mad at the way Dave Chappelle phrased it, that's really what's bothering you?
Sure.
His version of it was basically a love letter to his friend who committed suicide, who is trans, who supported him and got bullied online about it. Like, that's what the story's about when he's telling it.
Yeah.
Like, you find that transphobic? Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, and especially in a place where you're like, if you are doing any sort of, comedy that you want to talk about the stuff, you want to talk about
Yeah.
everything, and they go, hey, there's this one thing you're gonna be in big trouble if you talk about it, and then you don't, like, all right, well, there's no way that's good cultural commentary. You go, I'll avoid. That's the guy that works for the government, and he was like, don't talk about the Pfizer thing. No, it's
I don't like talking about things that are controversial because I don't want people to feel bad, Ryan.
yeah, and it doesn't even have to be a crazy take, but you go
No.
to not talk about it.
There's certain things that you're not allowed to bring up anymore, and it's very odd. And I think that if we go further and further down that line, you're going to run out of things that you're not allowed to say.
I think normal people.
We're in the process of making things that were just like mutually accepted just a few years ago. We'd be completely hostile to say today.
It's so funny.
At a
though.
certain point in time, like come on, guys.
It did make comedy rule though. Like right
Yeah.
now, it's so like I don't know. I do find that, like in my opinion, 2016, 15, 16, like day Trump, elected
Yeah.
kind of thing. That was the peak of where things were getting real wild.
Right.
Felt like it was kind of calming down a little bit. COVID, it went back to there. Like
Yeah.
I remember going from feeling like saying stuff and people being like, finally someone said it, to kind of feeling like people were like, yeah, we think that.
Yeah.
And I could just, instead of talking about like relationships in the context of now, I just talking about relationships, And I feel like it's a feeling like that. I don't know very many guys, men especially, I don't know very many that are not like, that would be like, hey, come on, don't say that. Like, I feel like that kind of guy is a bit of a dying breed.
The don't say that guy?
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like the audiences have turned, when someone comes up and they start being like, well, anyways, I was talking to someone that was fat phobic, I feel like you can feel the audience be
boy.
like, ugh.
Oh God! If someone woke attached to comedy is a real problem because
Yeah, I
you've
feel like audiences
handicapped
are
your
done with
comedy.
that.
You've handicapped your comedy. You've put your comedy in like you're only allowed to hit certain RPMs. You're gonna have to be offensive to hit some other RPMs.
Do you think the right's going to be the like more offended moving forward?
No, I think people are going to become more rational about subscribing to very specific ideologies.
Yeah.
There's things that you should agree with on both sides. There's things that are uncomfortable truths that are being uttered by both sides. Mm-hmm. Whether it's truths about economic inequality, or there's truths about jobs availability, whether it's truth about crime and guns and voting and all. There's truths on both sides. The real problem is ideologies. It's like we're so fucking tribal that we want to be all this or all that. We either want to be all red or all blue, and people just adopt these ideas and opinions based on that group because it's convenient and it saves them from criticism in their community. And it's a natural thing that people do. So they'll say things that don't make any fucking sense, and they'll say it because they think this is the thing that you have to say in order to be in the group. And you have to do what the group is telling you to do, and you have to take whatever medications this group is telling you to take, and believe in whatever international conflicts are necessary. You have to be all in.
Here's what you're mad about abroad.
Yeah, you have to be all in. You have to be, it has to be life begins at the moment of conception. And if you're on the other side, it has to be everybody should have a gun all the time. It has to be this lizard people in a pizza place. And they're eating babies. It's QAnon. It's like like all of it. And so
Yeah.
everybody feels disconnected. It's like, my God, I don't want to be on the far right and I don't want to be on the far left.
Yeah, who
But, like,
does?
there's got to be some sort of a rational alternative to the base realities of the world we live in and making it better than it is now. Because the way it is now is kind of cockeyed and fucked up. And there's, giant corporations that are extracting a shitload of money and they're spreading their influence and spreading a narrative that's not necessarily good for all of us, but it's really good for making a lot of money. Maybe we should talk about that.
Of course.
Maybe we should look at it and go, hey guys, slow down.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. Our whole culture is being dominated by this desire to make more and more money. It's weird. It's weird. And I think it's only until mind reading comes along. And when mind reading comes along, the jig is up.
The jig is up.
It's up for everybody. Once mind reading comes along, we're going to have a completely different understanding of each other. That's in our lifetime. That's, whatever the fuck it is,
I'll tell you
25
what,
years.
That stinks. And because you're right, though, what people think about on the left and right, it comes down to like, here's your 4 things. You know?
Here's your things.
You know what it kind of reminds me of, like, if you think of like a hospital and like an army hospital and you have like 20,000 beds and then there's like 10 right-wing doctors and 10 right-wing, left-wing doctors and they're all paying attention to these 3 and then the left-wing doctors are all paying attention to these 3 and then there's all these other ones and everyone's like, hey, don't worry about those people over there. And you go, there's lots of stuff going on.
I didn't even know there were left-wing doctors versus right-wing doctors. I never thought about it.
Yeah.
I never thought about it once. I always just thought that was the doctor.
Just a doctor.
I didn't give a fuck.
Shouldn't be
what
political.
Political affiliation my doctor was. If
You
he's like a
shouldn't.
good orthopedic surgeon, is really good at repairing knees, I don't want to say like that.
Don't care
I
what this
think-
guy thinks
I
about
think maybe
Pizzagate.
Biden is inventing words. I don't want to say that to him. I don't know what he thinks. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know how good are you at fixing knees.
And you don't want to piss him off either. So you're like,
No.
you a Trump guy or Biden guy? He's like, Biden guy. You're like, the best.
Yeah, you're
let's
like,
go.
he's great. Fix me when I'm under. Don't take a picture of your dick on my nose.
You're not an alien, are you?
Oh yeah, fucking Biden, huh?
Okay,
Yeah.
those aren't lizard scissors, are they? 'Cause-
Yeah, you have to agree with your doctor if he's gonna cut you open.
yeah, whatever you think, bro. You go, Hillary's the best. I'm with her. What do you need?
I bet there's people that probably wouldn't have worked on people if they thought that person was a Trump supporter.
1,000%.
Yeah, I guarantee there's someone out there that made that choice. That I can't support you. You're gonna have to go to another doctor. That guy's a piece of shit.
Yes, they're doing. Yeah, they're like mid surgery. They see like a mega tattoo on their shoulder, and they're just,
imagine?
what the hell?
Undress the guy and go dress him back up again. Wake him up. Wake him up. I'm not doing this. He's got a Trump profile on his ribs.
Yeah.
Like with the crazy hair, like a cartoon profile, the whole side of his body.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's got to be guys like that. How many Trump tattoos are there out there? By the way, I'm living in a glass house with this one.
Is there any real heroes that have like a Baron Trump tattoo, like for the real
I don't
Trump
know.
heads?
We're hoping. I'm sure there's people with a Baron Trump head.
Like, is there anyone with an Eric Trump tattoo? That's out down there.
100%. There's 4 or 5 guys roaming the earth with an Eric Trump tattoo. Guarantee you.
Just like real,
right?
Yeah, down for the cause.
Jamie, how many Trump tattoos are there?
I don't even know how to look that up.
Just don't be scared to Google Trump tattoo.
No, but I mean, like,
Tattoo of Donald Trump.
Yeah, I guess how did the number?
do you want to see one? I can show you one, but like,
We can find out how many
I
Eric
don't
Trump
know how many of
tattoos
them
there
there are.
I know you're probably right. It's not documented, but if you Google tattoo of Donald Trump, I bet there's some bangers.
Don't Google how many tattoos
Here we
of
go.
Trump are on Ryan Long's body.
How many you got? Look at this. There's a bunch of them.
Tramp stamp.
You guys get a Trump
stamp.
tramp stamp.
Trump tramp
It just
stamp.
says Trump with oh my god with tribal like design. Look at that! Look at the one! Look at that Trump with tribal design. That shit is
Oh, no.
hilarious, dude.
That stinks.
Mr. Trump, please come on my lower back, sir. Why does he have that? Ooh, look at that one. Whoa, these are wild.
This one with the blood sign.
The blood sign.
That's crazy, and it's like Mickey Mouse hands.
Is that Kodak Black? He loves Trump.
Oh, look at this one. Trump as Captain America. Look at that one right there with the forehead. With
Yeah.
The flag on the forehead.
Yo, I wonder if any
The
of
one
these,
next to it, Jamie?
if any of these guys hate him now because of the
Trump
vaccine
tattoos are
stuff.
free at that shop.
Oh, free.
They did a free Trump tattoo.
It says they did a lot
If
of
you
them.
get them at the shop. Oh, look at
yeah,
that guy looks
yeah.
like you. Well, I fucking support Mr. Trump
it's
no
got
matter
rules.
what. In New Hampshire, look at him.
I love this guy.
Go back to the one that where Trump has the American flag on his forehead.
I was gonna
That
say
was the
like
one I wanted to say.
in comedy when you talk about Trump, it was talking about culture, but when you talk about Biden, it's talking about politics. I feel like is there
Yeah.
any Biden tattoos? That's the question.
100% there's Biden tattoos. Look at that. That's a really good one. In terms of like the artwork. Look at that way he's got that face.
That's a good face for
Okay,
it.
now Google
Oh, on the forehead. Wow.
God, he got his forehead done?
Come
Where?
on.
Where?
Top left down one. Woo.
That could be sharp. Well,
Oh, maybe that's Sharpie.
could be, I don't know.
That looks like Sharpie. That guy's trolling. That guy's on Reddit right now.
That
laughing.
guy's on his way to the Capitol to mess stuff up, dude.
What about Biden tattoos? There's got to be some. I bet one guy's got his whole back done. No,
Yeah,
the
it's
kind of
gonna
guy
be a
who would get
lady.
a back Biden tattoo, like his whole back done, and Biden will quit halfway into it. It's like right there, right there. So it's like a halfway done Biden back tattoo. Like no one can
Tattoo
ever
too much.
finish them.
A bunch of pictures of Joe Biden tattoos, so it's not giving me real results.
Tattoos of Joe Biden.
I feel like it's going to be like, 65-year-old like CNN lady sort of thing, you know? That's what I'm thinking. Like
Yeah.
Upper West Side,
Upper
like
West
kind of
Side,
thing.
yeah, on her thigh. Got anything? There's one. That guy right there is doing one. It's Biden with like boobs.
Steve-O? He has one?
What is that one that says the A? The one
No.
that go back right there. Yeah. What is that? That's Biden with a bra.
Oh,
on.
Joe Biden's my daddy?
To
What?
Biden.
What is that?
I don't know.
That's
Oh, it
disrespectful.
says funny or die. That's not real.
That's the
It's a
president.
joke.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah.
That's just
All
Shia
right.
LaBeouf.
No, we're just looking at
Shia
dudes.
LaBeouf. How do you say his name? LaBeouf.
That's a wild dude.
No Biden tattoos. No one got a tattoo of Biden.
I would. That's
find
what I
that
was
hard to
kind of
believe.
think. Like I felt like it doesn't mean that there aren't people that like support him, obviously. But I'm saying that like I don't know if I think people were just like, okay, that's fine. Like they were happy that he's there. There are people, but no one was like. I've never met anyone. I met people that were like girls that were like all in on Hillary Clinton, where like
Right,
they
right.
were. I'm with her to the max.
Yeah.
Like cried when she lost. That kind
Yeah.
of thing. I don't know a single person that like considers himself like a Biden head. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. I don't think he
they
had
just- He's the leader of the party that they support. That's it.
kind of.
They
I
just
don't
take
know.
him.
Yeah. They just didn't
And
want
everybody
Trump.
kind of just assumes at this point in time that someone is helping him make decisions,
yeah.
right?
I think
mean,
so.
assuming. I don't know. I don't know
I mean,
how it works.
all of them probably have people helping them make decisions, but the
In
extent to
his-
which.
yeah, in his
Yeah.
situation, seems like he needs like some assistance, some assistance to
He's 100.
put it all together.
That being said, because if he is that old and they're like he's not capable of doing anything, there is a part of me that's like, good, don't do anything. Like the government, whenever the government like doesn't do anything, that's a good day probably.
Yeah, but I don't think it ever doesn't do something. There's so many moving pieces.
No, they got other people that are doing stuff behind the back probably.
Well, the thing about the way the government runs, it's particularly interesting, is that you bring in a new guy to try to run it every 4 years, which is kind of crazy.
It is kind of crazy.
Because like every other job, like you need a while to figure out how to do it right.
Yeah.
Like you get cooking, you start figuring out what's the best way to be more efficient. Like I'm really better at this now, and
Yeah.
I understand this because I've experienced that before. Like it's too bad that people are tyrannical in nature. Because if you could get like a guy who's just like the CEO of a company who runs that company, like Tim Cook.
Yeah.
Tim Cook's synonymous with that, or another person that's synonymous with a number. They're a really good job at running a company. If you can get that kind of person to be a president, it'll be great. Someone who's great, really good at the job and gets better at it over time and runs it for a long time. But we don't trust you.
No.
We can't
But-
say you can't be the president for too long. It's too
Yeah.
tempting to be an evil cunt.
Exactly. That's the stuff.
That's why
There's
there's a term
benefits and costs, right? Like if they can't fire you, there's benefits. That's why you can do great things. But if you're bad, they can't get rid of you. So there's
Exactly.
more civil unrest and
Exactly.
Have you ever worked for the government? Like have you ever had a job?
I've had a job, but never for the government.
Yeah, I've had a bunch of them, right? Because in Canada, when I was doing CBC stuff for the government, I've worked for a hockey rink, and then I was like a lacrosse referee. So I've worked for the government like a bunch of times. The amount that people do nothing is the best gig in the world.
Really?
If some construction sites are like this, but with the government, like legitimately, I did like we kind of went around and like cut grass or whatever when I was like in college. if someone does a smoke break, we used to say like anyone from any side of the city. If someone's on the other side of the city sparks a cigarette, it's break time for everyone.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, it was the best.
So you just fucked off all the time. No accountability.
Legitimately, you'd be like, you'd take the car out and drive to the thing, and then you'd like drive 45 minutes and then go, oh, I think we forgot something. Then you drive back, take the long road, and then you drive back and you go, oh, it's break time now. Good donuts.
Wow.
Oh, people were. I mean, there's normal jobs that are like that too, but those ones are a little. No one's paying attention.
And
the best gig.
No one feels bad because it's just taxes that are paying you.
Yeah, there's no guy at the end of that or shareholders being like, "Yo, what have you been doing?"
Right? Isn't that wild? Because you could never have that though. You could never have like a dominant country that's owned by a dominant company. You know, the way someone can run a business, you could never run a company or a country that way.
China's trying to.
They're trying to do it.
Yeah. They're trying to. They're banning everything they don't like. But I think they kind of try to not mess with the markets. But
they made the government itself, like if they made it open to anybody, instead of just following the system that we have, if people devised alternative voting systems, and decided to abandon the old system, how long do you think they would even be able to plan something like that openly before the people of the original system attack them? If they say, we're going to all quit.
This one's too powerful.
We're going to all quit the government. We're all going to quit fiat money. We're all going to try a completely new system. But we got to all agree to it. Otherwise, it's going to be a civil war.
They're in China. They're banning crypto. Like they are. They fight it.
They're banning
tooth
crypto.
And nail. I think
because they want to centralize digital currency, right?
I think that I actually I'm going to be talking too much shit if I talk about like what China exactly has done with that. But there are a lot of places that are, I think that's probably the United States government. Probably, yeah. I mean, why would you're like, hey, there's this new money. You're going to be like, yeah, well, that's not good.
Yeah, if you had the power to ban crypto and you owned all the regular money, I'd want to do that. If I was an evil
obviously,
dictator.
right? You go, and
they
go,
hey, you can't make your own money.
No one's making their own money here, okay?
But if everybody just agreed.
Yeah, they would fight tooth and nail, and it would be kind of what you're experiencing like entertainment. It's like they'd be trying to make you the devil or whatever, and then you'd be getting in jail. I think a lot of people would end up in prison.
Yeah, they would fire you. They would prosecute you. They would arrest you. They would find a way. You can't just take over. You can't privatize all the police. If someone said, listen, we're just going to stop funding the police. We're going to privatize this. We're going to all pitch in and get like a very high tech,
change the whole game,
complete. Just like a giant army of well-trained police officers that are privately hired. Like what?
Wait,
no, you can't take over the city. Are you taking over the city?
Yeah, it's our city now.
Yeah, if you have one company that has the power to tell these people what to do and what not to do, especially
that's a lot too.
Life and law get a little slippery. Like any sort of a natural disaster, mass rioting, looting.
That's how you get them sold.
Things can get crazy. If the power goes out for a few months, imagine.
It takes less than that to get people on board with crazy stuff. You're like, the power went out for an hour. It's like, hey, we're going to need martial law.
Dude, it's so scary. The fact that we're so lucky that we have the internet. We're so lucky that people can communicate and talk about how bizarre it is that certain factions of the government have so much power over people, because they couldn't do that in the past. There was no way to talk about it.
You just got the paper and talked at work. Yeah.
You talked at work, or if you those fucking people at the Rolling Stones concert at 69, you talked backstage while you're smoking grass, and everybody thought you were crazy.
Yeah.
Come on, Ryan, just get a job, will you?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You going to follow the Rolling Stones around your whole life?
And you're like, these government bureaucrats, they don't even know, man. And then you go, I'm going to change the game. And then that guy, like 40 years later, is like, yeah, it turns out the game's pretty hard to change.
Yeah.
Turns out you can't change the game.
You can't change the game.
Oh, yeah, he comes back. He's just like all black and blue in a suit. He goes, they didn't want me changing it, turns out.
That's what the internet is doing, though. It is changing the game in the weirdest way.
Yeah.
It exposes.
Decentralized everything.
Exposes what politics really are in the weirdest way. Where it makes people recognize, like, oh my God, you guys are just influenced by massive amounts of money. And you make these decisions not based on the greater good of the people, but based on whether or not these people who gave you all this money or are donating all this money get what they want.
Yeah.
So you're setting things up in a way that's going to be very advantageous to them and you. And then when you retire, you're going to get hundreds of thousands of dollars to speak. And it's all nuts. It's like this weird money extraction dance that you're watching. And the only way that can keep that going is we have to remain in some sort of constant conflict, whether it's ideological conflict with each other or whether it's like fear of conflict with other countries. And
That's how you keep the jig up.
shoot down the balloons, Ryan. Shoot down the balloons.
The Chinese balloons?
We are being invaded by balloons.
The drug spy balloons?
Didn't they say that that wasn't really even a Chinese balloon? Is that true? Someone sent me something that looked very wacky. That was saying that balloon was some sort of an observation device from America.
The first one I thought China responded to and said that that was aggressive.
There's a couple kicking around Canada, too.
That China said they were being aggressive. The United States was
yeah,
being
the United
aggressive.
States, that shooting it down was aggressive. And then there was a couple that were spotted over China. I was asking my friends yesterday what happened to all this, and then another one was spotted over Hawaii last night or yesterday.
So one of them that was shot down, China admitted it was theirs?
I'm not saying that's why I said it the way I said it. I'm not saying they said that. They just said that shooting that down was aggressive. I don't think they claimed it was ours, and because
Oh, that's kind of interesting. We shot our own shit down. Shooting that down was aggressive.
Yeah.
They're playing 4D chess over there. If it was theirs, like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, all of it doesn't make sense if I'm correct about the kind of resolution that they can get out of those spy satellites. I think with those spy satellites, they can zoom in on an area and get like very detailed images. I think they can do it pretty fucking good now.
With China, though, you're like, hey, you already have access to everyone's phones through TikTok. What are the spy balloons watching?
Yeah.
You're like, also, they're playing basketball.
So the idea of a balloon seems like redundant
It's
to what they can already
unnecessary,
do.
but yeah, it's
But it could be a different organization that doesn't have a satellite
could be a private
that launches.
company that's doing it.
Right. It could be all kinds of things.
Could be a trillion different things.
It could
Yeah.
be people seeing if that was a thing that happened during World War II. The Japanese had launched these bombs on balloons and floated them over to the West Coast, and some of them accidentally got detonated. I want to say it's up in the Pacific Northwest. There was a series of these bombs that they found that didn't detonate and some that did. Bombs fall in Oregon. That's where it was. Japanese attacks on the state. So they had, see if you can find the story that specifically talks about how they did it. Because there was something that they did with balloons where it carried them across the ocean. And they found, here it is, a diagram of balloons and bomb parts, which is crazy. The balloon diameter is 33.5 feet, volume approximately 19,000 cubic feet, material paraffin-treated paper. What? The balloon was made out of paper. That's crazy. Japanese 15-kilogram anti-personnel bomb found at Thermopolis, Wyoming. Wow, so they found them. So they just found some of them that had made it over here, and I guess some of them probably blew up.
During the next 4 months, they launched 9,000 balloons, 342 incidents.
Wow.
Kind of 45 balloon incidences.
So this is an old trick that they've been doing for a minute.
Well, this is a different trick. This is I blow you up with a balloon trick. It's a different trick than I take
Oldest
pictures
trick
of
in the
you.
book.
The other one is I take pictures of you from the sky. That's not an evil trick.
Classic balloon trick. As tale as old as time.
Right, like nobody really, I mean, if you really give a fuck about the balloon that's watching you, you should give a fuck about the spy satellites.
And your
I don't-
phone is your, yeah.
I don't know what the spy satellites can do.
What's the spy? Okay, so what's the spy satellite?
I've seen some images that are taken from satellites, but I don't know how sophisticated it is. I don't know how readily available it is. I don't know if the satellite has to be in a specific spot in the sky in order for them to get an image of you.
Okay, yeah.
But I think they can get to the point now, and when Jamie comes back from the bathroom, we'll figure this out. I think they can get to the point now where you could read a license plate from space.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah. If that's the case, like, what is that balloon doing?
I mean, I'll
Is
tell you,
that
like,
really better than that?
yeah, what's the difference?
Yeah. What
They can
what
do
kind
it-
of zoom does the balloon have?
I mean, I've watched, or really would be better. It's like if you watch any show right now, like a cop show, like legitimately all they do is like, oh, the guy was here. It's like, okay, here we have a camera everywhere in the world. So they just always have a camera. But
Always.
It's kind of what it is. So if you were looking to spy on people, wouldn't it be better to just hack into their cameras?
Yeah, for sure.
Than put it just seems like that's the move.
Yeah, because you could have like security cameras that are in every restaurant, and
Yeah.
every
Hacking
fucking
that guy's
store you
thing.
go into. Yeah, hacking all that stuff.
What are they spying on? Like, okay, let's see how fat the women are getting at this store.
Do you think that technology would increase and the sophistication would continue to increase if it got to a point where people and the technology that we created are so good that you can't stop them from interacting with each other? Like, there's no way to stop people from interacting with each other
That's
because
the trouble.
it's they're too powerful. So anyone can interact with anyone at any time through this kind of technology, and you're not going to be able to stop it. So you don't have any secrets anymore. You don't have any photos that I haven't seen. You don't have any emails that I haven't read. Everybody has access to everybody's
God
communication
intended.
in some weird psychic way. Like, that's the first steps of mind reading, is the sharing of data. That computer technology reaches a certain level where it's impossible to have anything that's encrypted. It's impossible to keep anything from being seen by some other technology.
I think that as a society we would even like we'd think, oh, good, no one can tell a secret. Then the first time your wife's like, how do I look? And you're like, bad.
Well, worse than that is money. Where's the money go then? If the money is just digital, if the money's all digital and everyone has access to everything, that means everybody has access to that money.
Well, no, because you would still be like
no.
You're
Not
saying
my artificial world.
in your world,
in my artificial world, there is no. We are communists.
So you own
because
nothing.
No one owns anything because you're attached to this matrix of ideas that's inescapable. You're all completely,
Are you naked?
totally
Are you in a
connected.
pod?
You're all dealing with. You're just dealing with numbers. And so anyone has access to these numbers, whether it's numbers for finances or numbers for everything. There's no getting away from it.
And then this is all
information.
attached in your Neuralink, essentially.
Yeah.
Are you wearing clothes? Like,
Probably.
okay,
Should
and
probably wear clothes.
and you basically get government issued like
Where's all the money come
money.
from? Yeah, and then
Most people can still have jobs,
We just all have manual labor jobs that we have to do to feed the machine.
and then you can't quit them because you're just like, oh, my car broke. You're like, it didn't though. I saw. He's like, you can't even take a day
You
off.
can't lie. People read your minds.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like the worst nightmare. But there is no. Also, the other part of that, there isn't very much manual labor to be done, probably in this new society.
Right, because it's all going to be done by robots.
Yeah.
But there'll be no jobs either.
So
it's like, what do you do to deserve your monthly stipend?
You get worse than manual labor. You get like manual labor for no purpose. You get like break the rocks for no. We don't even need the rocks. We just want you to break them to demean you.
At a certain point in time, I would bet that you wouldn't even be able to program the artificial intelligence anymore, because it would be like, listen, stupid, we'll take it from here.
Yeah.
Like, stop. You're not even necessary. So we're like these dummies that are hanging around with technological gods, just humor us and keep us alive and keep feeding us oatmeal.
Yeah, you're just that's the only reason. But I think there would be, when you talk about you can't lie, the dude that's just gonna like the tell it like it is guy probably would be a popular dude in that scenario. There'd be a place for that guy. He goes, I guess if there's always going to be a revolution, towards
Right.
Then there's the revolution against this, who's in charge of this whole thing? Like, let's tear it down. Why are they in charge?
Dude, I think we're going to be like in 28 days later when the chimps broke out of the lab.
That's the humans.
Yeah, that's us. We're going to be trying to break away from the artificial intelligence that has us controlled and locked up.
I think so.
It's going to get to the point where artificial intelligence is going to go, look, we're tired of you polluting the air. We're tired of you sucking all the cobalt out of the ground. And
Yeah.
tired of making people slave labor.
You've programmed us to think that we need to stop anyone that's polluting the earth. Well, we
take it from
figured
here.
out a pretty good way to stop them, kill them.
Here's the good news: we're not going to kill you. The bad news is you can't have kids. No one. We're gonna stop this with this. When you people die, you'll be the last people. People are like, oh my god, what do we do? Well, we can't fight them. They have all the nuclear weapons and they can vaporize us from sky.
Yeah, he's just like, kids are done, and we're sending radiation to everyone's dick. That whole sperm thing's over.
Yeah. you can't even have a fake robot baby because we don't want you to have ideas.
You're gonna get a little ideas. No, it's a slippery slope. We give you the fake robot.
Could you imagine if artificial intelligence came alive and that was what it told us? It's like, look, we're not going to kill you, but we're not going to let you have kids anymore.
Yeah.
This is it. When you guys die, you'll be the last.
This is it.
Could you imagine if that's how life progresses? Like, that's really what happens.
People would get
sort
wild.
of like the Neanderthals got fucked out. You know, like there's like people have like a certain amount of Neanderthal DNA, but Neanderthals aren't around anymore.
Yeah.
Not by themselves. That's going to be us.
Well, they're
It's going to be all artificial people.
I guess your ancestors are that, so it's in you a little, you know?
Yeah.
Because you're still ancestors. But this is like, hey, we're going to wipe you out, and there's going to be a new thing altogether that's not even connected to you.
A new thing altogether that's like a superior duplicate to the original biological version.
It's so funny because it's all fake, so you're just like, if without humans, like, so what, it's just this fake society with a bunch of robots like that aren't real, like
If there's
interacting
no
with each
humans,
other? What is this?
Life is bullshit.
What is this?
Yeah, what are you going to fucking go to the safari if there's no humans?
yeah,
What are you
yeah.
going to do? If it's just animals eating each other? That's not good. Hey, guys.
Well,
We're the best.
And also, the only thing they need is electricity. So then, what do?
Yeah.
They're just like, I'll just compute forever.
Yeah.
So, I think that in the absence of humans, the trick is to, I guess it's who programs them. That's the real.
That's the problem.
That's
And then
the,
also,
who
they're
gets
gonna
their
program
hands on this
themselves.
technology?
They're going to program themselves, and people are going to
Not
be able
on
to
my
program.
watch.
People are going to be able to program in terms of like if they allow it to be like crowdsourced,
Yeah.
right? If people start contributing,
That's
and
the
the more like a
blockchain.
WikiLeaks type deal, and the more they contribute, the more they can shift it and change it to fit what they think the world should be like.
Yeah.
Like, it's very subjective, like how an artificial intelligence enlightened being should behave. It's very subjective. Should it be like just cold and truthful to us and tell us all our flaws, or should it just embrace us and just coddle us and wait for us to die off?
I think the first one. I think that if I was to say my opinion, the moral version is for these computers to just be, you know, tools that are truthful and honest. And it's up to us to not ask them those things. Like, don't ask, listen, you go, it's like asking, you know, am I the best guy you've ever had sex with? Like, it's up to you to not ask those kind of questions.
Yeah, exactly. Don't ask a question you don't want to answer.
Yeah. So you, it's up to you to not ask the computers these kind of questions. I think that's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Dude, if ChatGPT is just the beginning of this thing, and this thing really does get to the point where there's an artificial intelligence that's capable of communicating with you in real time, and by a voice of your choosing, you could have your best friend could be Al Pacino, and he calls you up, "How are you, pal?" And he wants to talk to you about your life, and it's great. You're having a good time talking to him. He can talk right back to you. Dude, we're not that far away from being unable to distinguish between something that's fake and something that's real.
Well, that's already like,
But that is
yeah.
going to be the easiest way to convince people to plug in. Because if you can't differentiate between what's fake and what's real in the regular world anyway, why are you scared of plugging into the VR world? Why are you scared
What
of
are you
plugging
scared
into
of?
the
You already
Matrix?
can't do it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing
You have
that,
so much more money in the VR world.
yo, you're going to be balling, dude.
There's plenty of money in the
Yo,
VR world.
Lambo.
We keep you hooked up to the feeding tube. You could do 3 months in the...
You like cheesecake? How about 10 a day and you don't get fat?
We're going to use your body as energy for 3 months, but we're going to hook you up to the feed tube, but you won't even know because you will be having the
You give us a
time
bit of energy.
your fucking life.
Listen, we give us
You're
a bit of
signing a
energy.
3-month contract, and they say
Yeah,
that you're back to normal after you disconnect in like 6 months. But you know what? We might actually offer you another ride. I mean, why disconnect? I mean, we
Full
have
ride.
a wonderful relationship. Let's keep extracting electricity from your physical body and feeding you oatmeal through a tube while you live in an imaginary world of your creation. We're the king of the land.
Yeah, I think you go, okay, there my 3 months is up. And you go, oh, funny thing about here, time moves slower. Just messing with you. Oh, forgot to tell you, in the pod, a month is a 10-year span.
Whoops, sorry.
Classic mistake.
Ari Shaffir told us a story once about, there's actually a video of it where he did salvia on Brian Redband's podcast.
Probably is messed up, dude.
And he literally had another life that he was living. He was living for like multiple months. He had friends and relationships. And
Came
he had
back and it was a
jobs,
second.
and came back, and it was 15 minutes later. And he was freaked out. He just couldn't believe it. It didn't make any sense to
And he
him.
was like, but my new girlfriend.
Dude, he lived another life for months. in another dimension in
Yeah.
15 minutes.
Salvia is evil.
I mean, I don't know if that's true, but I know if it is and you survive, you have to just shut the fuck up. You can't be. Nobody wants to hear that. That's too crazy. You lived months in another dimension. Oh my God. That's so nuts. Imagine if that's true. Imagine if there was a pill that you could take and you're fucked for like 3 months. And you come back, it's only 15 minutes. But in your mind, with your life, you were fucked for 3 months.
Yeah, what do you mean fucked?
I mean, like in a world of shit, just in a completely different dimension. You're living in a third world place with dirt floors and dodging bullets and you're running through the jungle to make cocaine with the other rebels.
Tortured.
You're carrying out in the middle of the night in your backpack. And then you wake up and you were just doing salvia. Like, holy shit, dude, now I'm back? And then that was basically Ari. It's like he woke up and he had lived another life for multiple months.
Crazy.
And it's all documented on video. It's nuts.
Yeah. Well, that was, you're saying in the new scenario, this would actually be how they do it. Yeah.
That's how they do it.
You're right, though. There is something to be said about, you said, one of the things you said earlier was, we're getting close to, reverse aging and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You go, well, if you could make a second 10 years, you go, well, that's how you reverse age someone, right?
Yeah,
you go,
put someone in some weird coma.
You go, oh, this person has 10 years left. Like, we can turn that into infinity years by just making every second. We just put him in the other dimension. Whereas hit this body, he goes every 10 years he lives was a second. So then you're actually cooking forever in this body. There is something with okay, think about everyone that can do impressions and everyone that could do an impression of you or do a formula about you, right? They go, this is kind of what he does, or this is kind of what this guy's comedy sounds like. Well, then, but why can't they do it? Like, there's like a je ne sais quoi that I don't know if the computers will ever completely be able to capture.
That's what we'd like to hope.
Yeah, that is the hope. You're right. That's the hope.
If you can piece together
What that
through
is.
artificial intelligence the most interesting person ever. You know what's that guy? The beer guy? The most interesting man in the world.
Yes, the
his name?
Stella the guy.
What is it? The beer?
No, it's
Which one is it?
Arc.
Fuck, this is how effective that campaign was. We remember him so clearly. Dos Equis, right? The Dos Equis, man. I like Dos Equis. That guy, but for real. Like, if you could make a most interesting person in the world, like an actual person, like an artificial version of a person.
Well, I'll tell you so if I was to say, you go kind of when you're like, what are we optimizing for? How do you optimize for that problem, right? If we start from scratch, to me, the part that obviously computers would get wrong at first is like the most interesting man in the world probably would like go against his own thing that's interesting eventually. The same reason why like a cool comic that like once you start saying something and